Live from the lands between, it's Super Gamekast 2. Now here's your host, Bronson Fiore.
What is up, everybody? We are in the land of tomorrow, the year 2023. I am Bronson Fiore, joined by the always awesome Aaron Reynolds.
Technically, I think the lands between, like in terms of time, would be between Christmas and New Year's, because that always feels like a weird time that doesn't exist.
It always feels like just a wasteland of no productivity. Like at work, we got like a multi-million-dollar case in on the Friday before New Year's Eve, and I'm like, what jerk submitted this?
Do they not know?
Asshole.
Come on.
Yeah, like, what fucking asshole did this? You know, like, oh my god. Yeah, so, yeah, and then, of course, our mod mommy, the lovely Emily Hulslander.
Happy New Year, you beautiful, beautiful nerds.
And our very own HR ninja, Jesse Pewitt.
That was a poorly timed sip of coffee. Hello, good morning, guys.
We're starting a new year off
professionals.
right. Yes.
We're professionals.
Mhm.
Yeah, truly.
Oh my goodness. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing better now, but man, I had a pair of weeks, like everything after Christmas, except for New Year's Eve with my girlfriend, kicked my ass. Like, just between getting sick and some work stuff and like just
Oh, yep. It's been a hell of a time, let me tell you.
you know.
Glad the both of you are feeling better because both of you have been having issues right
That's
now.
right.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
Man, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, that was
That
awful.
was so bad. You
Holy shit.
blocked it. It's just
To put the therapist is going to unlock that experience like 3 years from now. Oh no.
The funny thing to me is, like, I got sick before going to San Francisco and then like a week and a half after going to San Francisco.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Well, I guess it's a sign. I just need to go move to San Francisco.
Right? Yep.
Oh. I got friends there that are trying so hard. They're just like, man, we're going to have that basement apartment open soon. We can rent that out to you guys. I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah, if you pay me properly, sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, hey, we're this is kind of a looking back show. You know, we're gonna be looking back at like what happened in 2022, and then our favorite games of 2022 before setting up for another probably really depressing year of video game news.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yep.
If anyone wants to check the Twitch stream, I have a little bit of fun happening here over on video. This is
Oh man.
this is us streaming in January of 2022.
Oh my God.
Look at us doing our thing,
Look at us.
little babies,
Jesus.
and we're still here.
Right.
That was before I was working at Microsoft.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
That was weird. That's
Yep.
very weird.
Still willing to wear those Microsoft shirts before you got disenfranchised.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still do wear them. It's just that, like, it's
He's happy about the
cold.
Xbox division.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
they're doing
Yeah.
great.
Those are
It's,
separate divisions, right? It's fine.
They are like straight up in our like CRM queues. Like, there's like 80 fucking million different queues, and you like only have access to the ones you can work on. But like, yeah, there's there's a million different parts of this company, you know,
Right.
which makes sense because it's fucking Microsoft.
Yeah.
You know, but they are a clusterfuck. So
I was trying really hard to make my long hair work then, and I just didn't have it. But I didn't realize it then, because that's all I had. And here it is, just like 90s energy happening with this haircut.
yeah,
I'm
like
looking
I
at.
was saying,
Yeah.
All you need is some
look at-
flannel in your
Yeah.
yeah, like I know the audio people won't be able to get this. I'm going to
No.
describe it. Aaron in this looks like he is a member of a boy band.
Yeah.
Didn't we make that joke on that episode?
I don't know.
Probably.
Probably. Yes.
Late 90s, early 2000s boy band kind of look.
Doo bop, doo bop, da boo bop.
You know, that's not the first Mbop reference I've heard this week.
I'll do a spit take, you
It's real
dick.
hot right now. Coming
I
back.
enjoy how it looks like my room and Jesse's room have barely changed.
Yep. Look,
I
when
know.
you perfected it, like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know?
You add more game system boxes as they come out.
That's right.
In my case.
Of course.
Well, you
Oh
know,
my
PS5
goodness.
PS5 Pro this year, right? You put that box there. There we go.
Oh god,
Yeah.
I hope not.
Me too. Fuck. Especially now because you can actually get one. I know that's gonna be a quick news story right now. Is Sony says the shortage is over.
Yeah, made it
Oh,
official,
shit.
I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think they hit 22 million consoles sold.
Well,
Really?
you can go if you have a PlayStation account, you can log on to their website right now and order any of them except for the digital edition.
That's
So you can
interesting.
yeah,
And
so
you
you
can
can
pick
order
up
the God.
PS5s at my work.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I mean we'll check Best Buy. I don't think Best Buy, but like yeah, if you're willing to order directly through Sony, you can get the God of War bundle or just the console right now for
Wow.
MSRP.
Okay, that's
either
it.
one is a good deal.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay. We're checking Best Buy. It's loading. You can get the God of War bundle right now at Best Buy. They will fucking. You can do it right now. It won't be to your house for 10 days, but you can order it.
Okay.
I
Hey.
mean, that's still a dub.
At the
you know?
intended price. Finally.
Nature is healing. The console market is returning back to normal.
Oh god.
Fuck. So, yeah. All right. Well, I figure we'd hit some of the major news stories.
Yeah.
For what happened last year. Take-Two Interactive bought Zynga for some reason.
They still
Yeah.
relevant?
I recently looked it up, and Farmville 3 is a thing.
I didn't even know there was Farmville 2.
There was a
There-
Farmville 2.
That was like 3 years ago.
Was that 3 years ago?
I want to say Farmville 2 was 3 years ago.
Okay,
I don't know.
well,
I've lost track of time.
well,
Look at
yeah,
that.
same. Shocker, Farmville 3 looks nothing like Farmville. It in fact looks like every single other mobile game that is trying to extract premium currency from you.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
yeah.
Huh.
Microsoft buys Activision Blizzard for $69 billion.
We are still like deep
talking about
in the news on that with FTC getting involved.
So the recent thing I heard about that is if they can get the European Union to agree with it with concessions, they're just gonna close in the US, take the lawsuit, and just offer the FTC whatever they give Europe.
Whatever that fine is.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just the cost of doing business.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that fine's not going to be anywhere close to, what they
Oh,
gain
good.
from it. So
Yeah. No, I already knew that this shit was gonna happen. I already knew.
I mean, I always thought like this, the line of argument, like we've talked about this a number of times. For anyone who's listened to this podcast for a while, I'm sorry, but it's like, on one hand, like I'm not happy about games going exclusive, which is if that doesn't happen immediately with certain ActiBliz games, it will down the line. But at the same time, Sony has been kind of doing these same shenanigans, just not with big money.
Not nearly as big is the difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Like this is the fight that has been happening for a good long while, and it's the next step of that. I would like it to stop, but like
But
I
it's-
don't see
it's-
any reason for this to stop based on what's happened before.
It's not gonna. Is the long and short of it is it's not gonna.
Yeah.
And speaking of acquisitions, 2 weeks later, Sony would buy Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mhm.
Which
the New
is a
York
good
Ti-
get.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, that's smart. Sony has been saying we really want to extend their live service games business,
Yep.
and
The
they
best
are
way
a
to do it
company-
is with Bungie.
They have a very, 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 very popular live service game, and they were the people. I don't know how many of those people are still there, but they are what made To Halos,
Yep.
and To Halos technically was a live service game. So there you go.
Yeah.
The New York Times acquired Wordle for a 7-some figure.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right. The whole Wordle stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a
I
trend for like a
immediately
couple
stopped
weeks.
playing that once that happened.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I need to find the
Embrace-
movie version of that again.
There's the one where you like get a scene from a movie and then you try to guess what the scene is, and then it shows
You look
you
at
another
one
and-
image. Yep. It's
Oh
good.
yeah,
So-
we
Yeah.
did that.
Yep.
That reminds me of a pair of YouTube games. I played one with Stella, one with some friends in San Francisco, where it would play like 10 seconds of an anime theme, and you had to guess what anime it was.
10 seconds is generous.
Or it would show you a screenshot from a video game, and you would have to guess the video game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god.
It completely dominated that one.
There's, there's
Cool.
a general music one where it starts out with a second of music,
Mhm.
and then you get another second up to 10 seconds to guess what the song is. My favorite songs are the ones that have nothing playing for the first 3 seconds.
Yep.
You're just like, what do I do?
Cool. All right.
Like,
hmm
fuck. Okay.
So Dark Horse Comics was bought by Embracer Group.
Oh, sure.
Epic
yeah.
Games bought Bandcamp.
That was weird.
Embracer Group acquired Beamdog. There's a lot of acquisitions on this list, people.
Yeah.
For those of you who want to know who Beamdog is, they made Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Like the
And Planescape Torment, and their newest game, Mythforce, that came out this year, which is like a roguelike FPS game.
Mhm.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It didn't make my list, but it was pretty good.
EA withdrew its from the license with FIFA after nearly 30 years.
That's right.
Finally, some good news. QA testers at Raven formed a union.
Yes.
Good. Let's see. Nintendo announced that the eShop for 3DS and Wii U will be shut down in March of this year, 2023.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Buy those games.
Once again, Embracer Group bought Tripwire Interactive, limited run games, and exclusive rights to Middle-earth intellectual property for video games and board games.
It is unfortunate.
Yeah.
NetEase acquired Quantic Dream. Nobody cares. They're terrible. Sony Interactive acquired Savage Game Studios as their first mobile development studio.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got it in your list, but do you have more stuff about NetEase in your list?
No.
Like the Yakuza director going over to NetEase.
Oh yes, I don't have that actually.
A ton of like high profile game devs have gone over to NetEase.
Weird.
Follow the money.
Gotta follow it. Wherever it
All right,
goes.
so all right, so Google announced Stadia will be shutting down on January 18th. I'm sure everyone's
Surprising
happy
nobody.
about
Yep.
Yep.
that. This one was wildly depressing, even more so for our group. Jeff Gersman left Giant Bomb.
Not even left. Got kicked out.
Got fired
much.
from his own company.
Yep.
On
Such a
top
bummer.
of that, Fandom would go on to acquire GameSpot, GameFAQ, Giant Bomb, and Metacritic for 1/10 of what they were valued at, or when they first sold.
Yep. That whole. I wonder how that whole operation's going now, because
I went because I love Giant Bomb's Game of the Year stuff. They were the best Game of the Year in the business, and even that's not the same, man.
well, no, it's not. It's hardly any of the same people. Like
Well, not
certainly
just,
not the people that were responsible for making it what it was.
not only that, but they don't even have the guest top tens anymore.
Well, no.
They just have their top tens, and like that's shitty. And like, there's nothing on this website that's like content that I would give a shit about,
Mhm.
especially now. Like, I like some of these people. Like Jess is great, and
Yeah.
Ben Reichert's fantastic, and so is Rory. But it's
there are individuals at this that I really like, but like as a person, but like given the way that whole thing imploded, like I can't bring myself to support it as an entity, especially with keeping the name like that. I don't know, just wrong. Keeping the library of content that the old people made is just.
I mean, I'm happy that stuff still exists and goes somewhere.
Yes. Rather than shutting it down and you have to rely on like Drew Scanlon to have some server somewhere. It's like, all right, upload it all.
Yeah, like it's not like old. Like if you want to find a lot of old GameSpot stuff, you just have to depend on the goodwill of people on the internet.
Yep.
And that's super shitty.
Yep.
So
I am glad it exists somewhere, but like, damn, man,
it's a bummer. Yeah.
Whoa, Ash Pendragon with 525 bits.
Whoa,
Thanks for the
bits.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hope you're having a lovely 2023.
Indeed.
Anyway, I've been enjoying Nextlander and Jeff Gerstmann's solo channel.
Yes, I've been enjoying the Jeff Gerstmann show and Nextlander. I actually listened to Nextlander's Game of the Year this year. It was very good.
Oh, nice. Good.
I still want them and Jeff to do some stuff together eventually.
I know, eventually.
I'm just like, please. I know you're not gonna get the band back together, but please.
Just give them time to operate on their own, and then when the time is right, they can do some crossover stuff like once a month or something.
Yes.
Get right to the hot spot again.
Yeah. Fuck yes. I love that theme.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Right,
Ash Pendragon stuck at work. Wah, wah. Sorry.
God.
Glad we can be of service for at least a few minutes.
I haven't, you know what's funny? I haven't worked a Sunday in 8 years.
Nice. Good.
Yeah. Good shit.
Keep it down.
Meta acquired Armature Studio and Twisted Pixel Games. For those of you who don't know who those fine folks are, Twisted Pixel made the Metal Gear collection for Vita. The Unfinished Swan, Borderlands: The Handsome Collection. They did a bunch of ports, basically.
Oh, Explosion Man. They did Explosion Man.
Oh
right?
my god.
No, that's sorry. I was listing Armature. Twisted Pixel did they did Explosion Man, Comic Jumper, The Maw, The Gunstringer, Miss Explosion Man, Loco Cycle, and then a bunch of stuff you've.
That's right. That's right.
Interesting picks for your VR, I assume, platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second incarnation of G4 was shut down by parent company Comcast less than a year after its relaunch in 2021.
When it was revealed that no one knows what to do with G4.
Right? It's what happens when you don't know what you're doing.
It's
pretty much.
Like, god damn it, guys. This assignment was not hard. Like, nope. It was literally just make boom. It's do this show. That's it.
But with Adam and Kevin and like just
really
keeping that vibe.
Yeah.
It's basically do this show with the old people and also with money.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that like the best part of that network were the interviews on Attack of the Show. Like on this second iteration, the interviews were really good, but everything else was just like, why?
Garbage.
Well, yeah, and you got a lot of random YouTubers, and it's like, why would I go watch The Completionist here when I can just go watch The Completionist on his own shit? Like...
But I watched The Completionist.
Like, why would I, like, so many of these are weird and just... Yeah, I don't know. It was sad to watch this, and then they had Scott the Woz doing a show on here for a while, and that was also interesting.
Weird.
Did they ever dip into doing reruns of their old episodes? Like that would have been would have been great if they had they could have made G4 a 24-hour channel and mostly rerun stuff, and then they pop in for their live stuff for like a half hour or an hour that fits in kind of well with this, while also like talking about current games or whatever, and then go right back to it. Like,
Well, I
That
think
has to be what they were doing networked, right? Because they had network syndication. They were on.
they had a fucking network going, right?
And
Yeah,
had
they were
to have
on. They were on TV on cable. So like I imagine that's what they had to be doing, but they weren't doing that on Twitch or YouTube or any of their streams.
which is where
Right.
the audience for G4 is.
That is right. Yeah.
Yeah, like
So-
in November of 2021, it announced that airings of select episodes of the web series Scott the Woz would air on G4 in 1 hour blocks.
I'm sorry, what?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, like which, you know, I like Scott. He does some funny, interesting content, but like, really, like, that's your play?
Yeah.
Like, really?
I always
Okay.
get confused with Scott Scott Wozniak, right? But that's also the name of the Apple guy, Scott Wozniak. Is that
Yes, that is correct.
okay? So I'm
They're
not
both
wrong
names.
to be confused.
You're not.
Yeah,
not going crazy. No.
there's the Apple guy, and then there's the web
Then there's this
YouTuber.
guy.
the YouTuber who is really into Nintendo and some other stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Who's also like really into Apple because he shows Apple a lot on his YouTube channel, which only adds to the
Mhm.
confusion.
yeah. I think that's just part of the branding. But yeah, so and he's been very popular, and it's just, you know, it just seemed like a weird thing, you know. And then the real funny part is when the network relaunched at 6 a.m., they did a marathon of the original Ninja Warrior, followed by a very special G4 holiday reunion. And then yeah, so there was that.
Okay.
Let's see what else is going on here.
BattleBots. I think BattleBots
Uh,
actually exists somewhere right now.
It does,
So.
yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, so this is what it says. Several factors led to the discontinuation, ranging from lower viewership, a lack of audience strategy, ever-changing and absent leadership, competition with streaming content creators on YouTube, Twitch, and cord cutting and high expenditures. G4 Select would be removed from Pluto TV on October 19th.
What?
During an episode of Attack of the Show. Yeah, it was apparently on Pluto TV as well.
That seems
Yeah.
like a good idea.
It does.
The network fully sunsetting on October 21st, ending 2 minutes into Smosh. Apparently Smosh was on there.
I don't even know
Okay.
that. Wow.
You want to talk about dated things from the internet?
I
And
mean,
then-
you know, yeah.
The last network to fully discontinue them was Fios on November 18th, 2 days after their first, or 2 days after the first anniversary.
Damn. Yep.
I cannot believe they were airing. Like, man, I feel like the fucking setup for this seems so easy, right? Like, it seems just lean into the fucking millennial nostalgia, and they didn't. If anything, they did the opposite.
They had they brought Adam Sessler, Kevin Pereira. They were in and they were there, but
Mhm.
they didn't lean in all the way. Like, oh man, I don't know. Maybe, hindsight's 2020 also, but also like at the time it launched, we also assumed that they had a plan, and then
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
over time they did not.
They
Quickly
obviously
became
didn't.
apparent.
Man,
And I think you look at that Comic-Con panel, and that was a perfect case of like,
that's right. That Comic-Con panel was like confusing. What?
Yeah, like you don't know, like none of these people are the original people, and then like even the people who are here, like the only one I've ever heard of was the completionist, and like, you know, because you need it, like if you could in theory do the new content route, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could in theory do that, but you would also have to get people who actually matter,
Mhm.
you know. And you didn't do that either, outside of Xavier Woods, but he's busy with other shit. And,
Yeah, he's
like,
busy with other stuff. You could do it with new people, but they have to be like up to snuff. Like, you know,
Yeah.
the way they introduced Jess in the Giant Bomb, I think Jess was a fit like pretty damn well, and like I wish they were still doing in in-person stuff, because Jess on the couch with everyone else, I think, would have been a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And Jan, was introduced as a producer at Giant Bomb. He was a great fit. Like, those two together are fantastic. Like, again, that goes back to in-person stuff. I think they would have really benefited from all of that. And G4, if they had played their cards right, they could have done that as well. Because that's what it seems like. Adam Sessler and Kevin, they wanted to kind of leave. It was in their mind a temporary thing from the get-go. It was about like trying to start the next generation of G4. It just did not seem like they had much of a plan for that beyond like the completionist was there. And I mean, they seem to be grabbing some people, but like Xavier Woods was never going to be that person. Like, WWE comes first for him.
And like the problem is also when you grab a really big name, like even the completionist big, he's like, people are just gonna think, oh, the completionist is on your thing. This isn't your thing.
Right. Like, you're going to get a content creator who's going to continue making their own stuff, and then you're just going to pull them into this. Like,
yeah.
Nah.
Not going to work.
Wonder if Aaron Hansen would have been into doing some G4 stuff. He'd still be making his own stuff, so people would just be watching that stuff. But that's a personality I think that would have been strong enough.
I think that you would have had to get someone who was willing to just leave and be on G4.
And that's the thing.
And I don't know, like, you would have to pay someone, because like Scott the Woz isn't a bad choice to do that, but you'd have to pay him a whole shit ton of money to stop doing Scott the Woz for himself.
Yep.
So
is
there's
Nathan
that.
still making content? Is he still doing Game Grump stuff?
Yeah, I believe so. I'll check. Hold on.
I don't know if he's doing Game Grumps, but I know he's just all over the place doing a bunch of things.
Oh no, he literally was on a Game Grumps video that went live an hour ago.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
So
playing another Wheel of Fortune on the Super Nintendo.
Who wants to be a millionaire speed run?
Yep.
Yeah.
It just sounds stupid. Just like hit buttons.
Yeah.
Sounds like a science experiment. Just hit buttons on your Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game, and just how many runs does it take to get to a million?
Just set up a turbo controller.
Yeah.
The thing that I find most interesting is they're really not doing like LPs anymore.
Really?
And they've also been doing a lot of videos with the completionist for whatever reason.
I mean,
that dude gets around.
Completionist was part of Normal Boots, which was where John Tron and Peanut Butter Gamer and a few others were at, and Completionist was the only one that emerged from that unscathed. So that's like 1 degree from Game Grumps.
Yeah. I'm literally trying to find their last like full Let's Play, and I just it's
that's a shame. That Goof Troop Let's Play is legendary.
It's so good. Like everybody knows about that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if they have finished it, but they did start an LP of Elden Ring, and got so they did it in 25 episodes.
Oh, okay.
They did Danganronpa 2, but yeah, their last LP episodes went live 7 months ago.
Huh. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe
just to chill for a minute. For those of you that haven't played Danganronpa 2, you need to play all 3 Danganronpa games.
Yes.
I watched someone play the first one. It was entertaining.
So, all right. Well, next up on the news docket was Square sold Eidos.
Finally, yeah.
Got rid of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then John Carmack was like, hey, Facebook is a shit show. I'm out of here.
Man,
I'm not on VR.
They're not wrong.
Oh.
As for some other notable things, the game industry was very big on supporting Ukraine. They raised a whole fuck ton of money for the Ukraine. Some notable deaths in the industry include Scott Benny, developer and writer for multiple role-playing games, including the Fallout series. The lead developer on Phantasy Star and Skies of Arcadia. Bernie Stoller, the man who would basically kill the Sega Saturn and start the Dreamcast on its death march. Rob Smith, editor for PC Gamer. passed away. Kevin Conroy, of course, the voice of Batman, passed away.
Yeah.
Real bummer there. And those were kind of the really big ones. Oh, and then the co-founder of Razer,
Oh, wow.
at age 81,
Woo.
passed away as well.
Wow.
So, yep. Then finally, we had some hardware releases. The only real notable one being the Steam Deck in February.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it. That was the year of news. Now, yeah. So it was a fucking kind of a bummer of a year, man.
Kind of, honestly, yeah.
Like, consoles were impossible to get. Just constant bad news. Fucking. Oh.
So much controversy going on.
Lots. Yeah.
So much.
I felt like every week I logged on to do this show, and I was just like, all right, how is the world fucked this week?
Yep.
That's basically how I feel
Yeah.
doing this show. Like, okay, what kind of shit show are we dealing with in the news?
Yeah,
Every
who
week.
Fucked up what? That's why I try and find the nice news stories, but man, they don't pop up often.
They don't.
Sucks.
Anyway, so we played a lot of video games this past year.
Mm-hmm.
Collectively.
Yes, collectively. I actually, you know what? I looked and hold on. How many games did I play this past year? I played a pretty fair amount of video games.
The first half of the year I found to be a little bit rough, if I remember correctly. That may just be because Elden Ring came out and like that just dwarfed every other announcement.
Yeah, it did.
So I played a total of 29 games this year.
Wow. Okay.
Damn.
Nice.
Yes.
How do you track that?
What do you mean?
How are you tracking it?
How do you know you played 29 games?
I went and every time I played more than 2 hours of a video game, I wrote it on a Word document.
Okay, so you're manually tracking it. That's a good idea.
Bronson's thinking about Game of the Year starting in January.
Starting January 1.
Yep. This year, I have not played any new video games, and I looked at the release calendar. I'm like, man, I'm not going to be playing any new video games for a while.
Yeah.
I get to go through my backlog.
Yeah,
Right?
I
Thank
dug
God.
deep. I dug deep into Cyberpunk this past weekend. It was nice. So what we did is we were gonna each individually present our top 10 lists and why we liked those 10 games and ask each other questions or discuss those 10 games. I actually think there's not gonna be a whole lot of crossover this year.
I think
Maybe
you're
not.
probably right.
I from what I know of what we were all really into, I think there'll be a little bit, but not much. But because Emily does not have the new systems or a PC, we kind of make an exception for her. Hers is going to be at the top 10 best games she played this year. So the rest of us are 2022. She is, a
little bit of 2022 with mostly previous games.
Yes.
Previous
So,
years.
Emily, open us up. What's your number 10?
Overwatch 2.
Oh, that was this year. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I actually didn't put that one on my list. Hold on. I'm not. It's not on my. It's not on my fucking list of. It's not gonna be on my top 10. But I do like to track every game I played.
Emily, is this ordered? Or is this ordered or unordered?
It
all
is
of ours are-
ordered.
Ordered. So is this 10?
Yeah.
All right, it's coming in at 10.
Yeah,
number 10.
Overwatch
All right.
2.
All right.
Great game. Really good
Actually,
game.
it was a good little ease into shooters.
Yeah.
Which, for those that know me, I don't do shooters all that well, if
Right.
at all.
It's very good for that. I think if you are someone like me who that has been one of your primary genres forever, it feels a little too contained.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I am so beholden to my teammates' performance, and I fucking hate it.
Right.
Teamwork.
Well,
I feel
no,
it. I feel you.
Yeah, because like in Call of Duty, like in Call of Duty, I go on a 30 kill run and fucking just dominate.
Yep.
Like my team will probably win, no matter how.
Yeah.
Like as long as the rest of the team doesn't perform too poorly. But like if one person on my Overwatch team is not performing, we're probably gonna lose.
Yeah.
It's like fuck.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Overwatch 2, Emily?
I mean,
How you enjoyed it?
one of my best friends who I play D&D with is a big Overwatch nerd.
Okay.
Like, his main is, I think, McCree. Or no. His main is Reinhardt.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Like, that's his true main.
Okay.
So I'm like, whatever, it's fine. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll dip my toes into it.
Yeah.
And I had fun. So not as much fun as I have with all the other games on my list, but I did have some fun nonetheless.
It
Why it's
was a
10.
game. It was a game I definitely booted up and was like, this is cool.
I like looking at it.
I mean,
So-
visually, yes, it's very pretty.
I really like looking at it. That's what I have to say.
It's a very pretty game.
It's I like the character designs and all that. I hear like I just recently this week like went on like it's like all of Reddit and Overwatch is like, any of you guys miss Overwatch 1? And everyone's like, yes.
Oh my god.
Just due to
That's
like their
awesome.
systems and shit that they do in terms of like microtransactions and rolling out cosmetics and things like that.
Battle
But
Pass is bullshit, but
yeah.
I digress.
You know, the one thing that stands out about Overwatch to me, and it's not even related to Overwatch, but Overwatch is included. Like 5 or 6 years ago, I walked into a Burger King and all the TVs were playing this esports tournament of Overwatch.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this really like this? This is really
this
what's
real
going on? It
life?
was on,
Like, what the
it was on
fuck?
ESPN. It was the weirdest freaking thing.
Nice.
I was like, what? Why? I just came in here for a Whopper. I don't know.
What the shit?
Well, Overwatch. The thing I find hilarious about Overwatch is like, I find it at its most fun when it's like mega casual and like Blizzard
Yeah.
and its community is just like, we're making it into an esport. And I was like, fucking why? What is the fucking obsession with this garbage?
Money.
Uh-huh. Yeah, money.
Oh,
I played ranked
Gross.
once, and this dude was like, I died, and then he got on the mic, and he's like, if you ever come near me with a tracer bomb on you again, I'm going to kill your family. So I intentionally would get tracer bombed and then run over to him. I was like, I got some done with ranks. I don't need to play
Hey, check
ranked
this out.
anymore.
What the fuck?
I remember my best
Messed up.
season in
That's
ranked.
messed up.
My best season in rank, I got to gold, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, just everything about that game from that perspective has been so uninteresting to me after like the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So, all right, what's number 9?
Number 9 is Final Fantasy 15.
Final
Oh
Fantasy
shit!
15.
Boy band road trip. Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I am a
alright.
little biased though. I'm a
Mhm.
Final Fantasy nerd,
Uh-huh.
and I
I
met
love
one of the
Final
voice
Fantasy.
actors for 15. So,
Ah,
Which one?
okay.
Which one did you meet?
oh god, I don't know what character he is, but Robbie Damon.
Okay, then yeah, I don't know. who
His
this
character,
is.
I think, has blonde hair.
Prompto?
Prompto.
That one, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
the
I
one.
immediately knew who it was then.
Yep. Yep.
I thought that game was very much a right direction for Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I just, yeah. I don't think that it's all the way there, but I think it's a lot better than pretty much every mainline game they made after 10.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So good job, I guess.
Yeah. It looks
I
cool.
hated the combat in that game, but I don't know what they did between, and like I haven't sat down to think about it to figure it out, but what they did between 15 and 7R for the combat, because I love the combat in the Final Fantasy 7 remake, but I absolutely detested it in 15.
I have been the person saying this about Final Fantasy for an eternity. Just go back to the ATB system.
Yes.
Return to Monkey.
Mm.
Let's go.
Yes. Give me don't even give me ATB. Give me like true turn based. I don't care.
Yeah,
Just get rid of this action RPG shit. I don't.
Yeah, like go back to Final Fantasy X. Look at Final Fantasy X was the last good one. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
Well, I
Final
shouldn't
Fantasy
say
X was like
was so good, and
So
then
good.
like everyone after 10, besides 10-2, they were like, we need this shitty hybrid action combat that
Yes.
that it's not as good as an action game and it's not as good as these turn-based games we made. So it just sucks, but okay.
Yep.
We think that's what Westerners want, even though Persona 5 did great in America.
Uh-huh.
And Pokemon does great in America. Both totally turn-based.
I mean, if they can't get it right with 16, given who's working on the gameplay for that, then yeah, I don't.
Yeah, seriously.
Then there is no winning.
I need it.
Please.
Yeah,
For the love of all that is holy.
If the Devil May Cry guy cannot save your combat system, you're done. Just
You
leave.
go
You're
back.
fucked
Go back.
for eternity,
Yeah,
basically.
just return to Monkey, please.
Yeah.
Not to say that like Final Fantasy 15 is a bad choice or whatever, because
No.
the story is pretty good and the
Yeah.
relationship building in that game is phenomenal.
No,
It
every time that they had a conversation on that road trip, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I was like, I need to hear
Every
this. I need to
second
not
in
do
the
what I'm
car,
doing.
it's just been so great.
Nice.
And the fact that you can unlock old Final Fantasy music to run in the car.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
I did the Chocobo music from Final Fantasy VII for all of 2 minutes. And I was like, oh, this is really fucking annoying. Okay, I'm gonna change this to anything else.
Yep.
Okay.
It does get annoying after a while. I don't blame you.
Yeah, alright. So that game's really cool. What about your number 8?
Number 8 goes to Splatoon 3.
Nice.
Ooh.
Also
good
came
choice.
out in 2022.
This
Fun
one's
game.
all on you and Aaron, because I have not touched it. I know nothing about this game.
You know, you're a kid or a squid or an octopus, I guess, at this point, right? It's
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, on some level, have you played Splatoon before?
No.
Yes, I love Splatoon 2.
Okay,
Well,
if you
if-
played Splatoon before, you generally know what this is.
Yeah.
That said, Emily, this being your first experience with Splatoon, I imagine it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun. Like, after I played the demo of it at PAX, I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely picking up this game because it's like chaotic fun and I'm having a grand old time. And I
Nice.
have.
Good.
So there we go.
It's for me frustrating because I am bad at Splatoon. Because in order to be good at Splatoon, you have to put a lot of time into it.
I mean, yeah.
You got to get the right clothing that has the right upgrades to it. They have 3 slots. You got to upgrade it to 3 slots if it doesn't have them already, and then you need to get those sub perks added onto it, which happens when you wipe one clothing item and it breaks those sub things that they had on that into bits, and then you can spend those bits to put the ones you want in the clothing item that you want. And you got to do that for a number of things, and you got to get the gun that you like that has the sub and the ultra thing, ultra
It's just
ability
a
that you
lot
like.
of work.
And then
It's a lot of work.
It sounds like Call of Duty, but with more parts.
it's more complicated.
Yeah.
Yes, it's and then their system where they have rotating maps, and you'll have like 2 maps that
Oh,
will
yeah.
rotate like
That
every
is the
hour.
Shit that I always hated about Splatoon 2. And I hate it in fucking Splatoon. I would assume I may hate it about Splatoon 3. Just give me the full fucking map pool, please.
Never,
Fuck.
they will never do it.
Ever,
why?
ever.
I don't know. It's a
Because
unique
it's
thing, I
Splatoon.
guess.
They're all about chaos.
Just do
I guess, right?
what every other shooter does. Just put a fucking randomizer in and be like, all right, cool, you're getting this map now. You know, like,
Well,
fuck.
Yeah,
gosh.
did you like that map? You're not going to see it again for 6 months.
Fuck.
Well, so what it does, and I guess they like this, is it makes it so you have to have loadouts ready to go. because
Yeah.
you will load up a map, and this will be half of your maps for an hour, where it is a long corridor, and there's like cover and stuff, but like, okay, you better have a sniper build ready to go, and
But
your
like-
clothing items like set for a sniper build so that you can
But
take
like-
advantage of that.
Call of Duty already does that. You just select your loadout at the start of the match.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
like,
they're
paint.
but they're saying like, yeah,
Children.
Yeah, you can't select your loadout when you start up a game. Like when you find out what the map is, you can't select. So
Yeah, they should change that to be like every other shooter in existence.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's their own unique thing, and frankly, I just it takes so much time and work to get to where you need it to be able to play well that I'm just like, no. But then as a casual player, the team still wins stuff. I don't feel good, like in terms of my contribution. But I mean, that's the whole thing about Splatoon anyway, is that it's not even about kills. It's about just getting coverage. So at least if you're just concerned with covering as much paint as you want, like you're contributing and doing well.
Is the Miiverse for this one still good?
Yes. I just loaded up last night, and someone had drawn like, you know, a squid kid, and then just an arrow, and then a message that said, this squid drank battery acid when they were 6. And that was
Oh my god!
that was it.
Fucking dark.
Oh my
Sure,
God.
whatever.
Fucking Christ.
What the
Nope.
fuck?
Still carrying that tradition. It's still fantastic. A lot of good artists.
Okay, then.
A lot of good shit posters. And yeah, the style is fantastic. The world is fun to be in. It's just a party going on in that little overworld, and you can just run around and look at what everyone's doing. So, yeah, I love Splatoon 3 style. I assume you had fun, Emily.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, good.
all the
Do you
fun.
know what your favorite gun was?
Oh, I'd have to boot it up to
Okay.
remember what it was, but
I could never pick one, because whichever one I pick, I go into a match. I'm like, oh god, I'm terrible at this, and then I go out and I select a new weapon, and I go in. It's like, oh god, I'm terrible
God, I'm
at this.
terrible.
My favorite in 2 was always the paint roller.
Yeah, paint
Oh,
roller's
yeah.
good. Paint roller's
rollers.
still very good. I've been using the slosher, which is just a bucket full of paint. You just throw it out there. It's a decent balance of covering ground and also like getting a decent amount of damage on someone if you aim right.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is. Oh, and then at the ultimate is a booyah bomb, which is just a spirit bomb.
That's fantastic.
You
That sounds- yeah, that sounds
you
really
summon a
good.
ball. You have your hand up above, and then everyone on your team hits down on the D-pad to go booyah, 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 and then you throw it down. It's good.
Nice. All right, Emily, what's your number 7?
Number 7 is Ratchet and Clank.
Like the 2016 one?
16 movie tie-in. Ratchet
Ah,
and
Gotcha.
okay.
Clank.
Nice.
That game was pretty good.
Yeah, I
It's
like that
kinda-
one a lot.
I liked it at the time. It's kind of middle of the series for me. Like, I like it better than some of them, but I don't like. It's not like the elite Ratchet and Clanks for me, like your Kraken Times or your Rift Aparts.
Mm.
Right.
Good though. Mm-hmm. All right.
And did you play through all of that?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
Like full complete story and everything.
Cool.
So
All right.
I might go back in to do like a new game plus or something, or do the challenge mode or something, or go back in and do some skateboarding challenges. Haven't quite
Hell
figured
yeah.
that out yet.
All right. Cool.
All right. And then for your number 6.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby.
fuck yeah,
Also a
Kirby.
22 also a 2022 title.
What's that
There
game
you go.
called?
Kirby and the Forgotten Land
Forgotten
came out
Land?
March of 22.
All right.
You can need a car.
You can, in fact.
You can be a car.
You can be a traffic cone. You can be all these different things and
Kirby.
do all these different things while you're in that shape, and it's great.
Yeah.
Kirby showing off you can become whatever you want to become.
Exactly.
right. You just gotta
Mhm.
believe.
Indeed.
I believe.
All right. All right. So what's your number 5?
All right, top 5.
Top 5.
Marvel Spider-Man.
The
Marvel Spider-Man.
2018. Okay. Yeah, I play. You know what? Funnily enough, I love that game. It actually might be one of my favorite games of all time. The only reason it didn't make my list is because it had the PC version come out this year, and I played
Mhm.
it, and I played a lot of it actually. But I felt bad putting it on my Game of the Year list for a third time. So I was just like, I
Fair
can't do
enough.
this.
That would do it.
That would do it, yeah.
But yeah, that game is awesome. It is they made a perfect Spider-Man game essentially.
Yeah, they did.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Like it's so
And I'm a
good.
massive Spider-Man nerd, so I'm just like,
Yes, and it is my favorite Spider-Man. I love Yuri Lowenthal.
I love Yuri. Like, no matter what he does, I'm just like, yes, I want more, please.
I remember when I heard his voice in that game for the first time. I'm like, is that Yosuke from Persona 4? And I'm like, I look it up and it's fucking Yosuke. It's Peter Parker.
Man.
Uh,
because he's in just about everything, and it's great.
He's in a lot. I was actually shocked when I heard his voice in Guild Wars 2. So,
Jeez, he is in everything.
yeah. All right. Yeah, I think we've talked about that game to death on here.
We
if
have.
if you remotely like Spider-Man, you have to play that game.
You have
Yep.
to.
Yep.
All right, what's your number 4?
And speaking of Spider-Man, this one just edges it out a little more. Miles Morales.
That's interesting because I prefer 2018 over Miles Morales. I have the platinums in both. I love both. But yeah, like
I guess I've always liked different versions of Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Like all the different like multiverse Spider-Man 2099 or whatever.
Spider-Man 2099. It's such a dumb idea.
What are you talking about? That's fun.
Fucking no, it's like bootleg Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
I will get my Batman Beyond where I can get it.
That's right.
Fair enough. Man, imagine if Rocksteady made a Batman Beyond game.
Think about it.
Fucking awesome. Yeah, how awesome would that fucking be?
God damn it.
That would be kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. But Miles has always been always had that little soft spot for me, so that's why I liked it just that much more.
Nice.
I liked that game a lot. I know you played it on PS4, so you didn't get to see the tech showcase that it is, but
Right. But I have seen gameplay for it on PS5.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
That game is pretty.
Yeah.
I like that game a lot. I do like that it's a shorter, more contained thing, because there are parts of 2018 that feel like, man, this is going a while, but
right. But there's still so much to do in Miles Morales, just like there was in 2018 Spider-Man. So
there's not as much though. Like it took me about 40 hours platinum 2018. It took me about 18 to platinum Miles Morales.
Yeah,
it's definitely a tighter experience. And I like the story of 2018 a little more. And I think that's mainly just because it's a lot more fleshed out.
Yeah.
I do give Miles Morales props though for being a Christmas game. There aren't enough of those.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and I think for me, I like Miles's powers more. They're more fun to play with than
yeah.
Peter's.
Yeah, but every time I play with Miles, I'm like, fuck, I miss my gadgets. I miss my like web traps and shit.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on how you play.
Give me Spider-Man Skyfall Edition. He's got 2 abilities.
That's right.
One thing I do like more about Miles Morales is you can re-stealth. So if you fuck up a stealth section, you don't have to just go into combat. You can sneak away.
Yeah, that's what happened when I was doing this one area. It was pretty stealth. It was like mostly stealth, but I got caught and then I hid right behind a ledge and then it just reset. And I was just like, oh, thank God. I don't have to start over.
I am excited for Spider-Man 2 to see if they're going to have 2 Spider-Men that play differently or it's going to be a co-op game. I'm wondering what route they're going to go with. So
Here's an
but-
idea. Spider-Man made by the Hitman guys.
I would play the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I would play the
Oh my
shit
god,
out of
I would
it,
probably
but-
play the shit out of that. No joke.
Yeah, Spider-Man there's no killing rule.
Yeah.
All
You
right,
get to
so
play as Dr. Octopus, the Spider-Man. The
oh, there
Ooh.
you
superior
go.
Spider-Man, right? Yeah. And fuck
Yeah.
these guys, I'm killing everybody.
Oh god. Oh.
Okay, so what's your number 3?
This is actually going to be a shocker to you guys.
All right.
Okay.
Infamous Second Son.
That does not surprise
Number-
me at all.
I mean, for as much as I love that game and as much as I like talk about that game and all that, it would you guys would assume it would be like my number 1.
Sure.
It's not,
Not
though.
necessarily. It depends on like that is a hell of a game. Okay, so what's your number 2 then? Because that's a game, and that game is old at this point. That game is
Yeah.
the oldest one on this list by a while.
Out here playing retro games.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I am. I'll be playing retro games until the day I die. Damn
The
it.
shit that's in that retro category on Twitch depresses me every time I see it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2, and this was really hard for me because I had like a tie going for a little while.
Mm.
Alright.
But then I was just like, that one kind of edges it out a little more. Number 2 is Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Oh.
Okay, all right. That doesn't
game.
necessarily surprise me. I know you've talked about it on the show a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like for those that are big on life sims like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, highly recommend.
Nice.
Like
Good.
after the Christmas event that they just had, and you get like all this festive decorations, festive clothing, and all of this stuff, and I'm just like, I can't wait till the next update.
Man, I've noticed that games are really starting to step up their fucking holiday events.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like my brief experience of that New World holiday event, I was like, "Fuck, this is awesome!" you know, like I did the Guild Wars Halloween this year. That shit blew my mind. So, all right.
Was there any stuff with Warcraft or anything, or?
Warcraft has had the same Christmas event for the past like 9 years.
Ah, fair.
So,
Log in, get your present, log out.
log in, get your present, go save Metzen the reindeer.
Yeah, get the reindeer.
Go. What's the other thing? Oh yeah. Stop the corporatization of Christmas.
Okay.
Or sorry, Wintervale. Yeah, so yeah, it's they do have a pretty good Christmas riff, but it is the same event that's been going on for like a decade.
Ever?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
what's your number 1? Emily's Game of the Year 2022. Drum roll.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a good
All
That's a great game.
right.
Well, I have like my Game of the Year document that because I when I left the Gamer Access, I made sure to find what I put for Game of the Year each year. 2020, Ghost of Tsushima was my number 8, and that game is fantastic.
Yeah.
I
Good
did
game.
I did accidentally burn myself out on it going for the platinum. Like, I played 70 fucking hours of that game.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
already like
God.
30 hours in, and I'm only in Act 2
Jesus.
because I've
Yeah.
been doing all the little side stuff, like finding
Mhm.
all the shrines, all the banners, like liberating all. Like so far, I have almost all of Izuhara liberated.
hmm
Nice.
Like I'm only missing 2.
Yeah, and it's a that game has such a good story and good music, and it's just fucking beautiful, man.
It's gorgeous. Like I've cried so much during this game just based on how pretty it is.
wow.
Mhm.
And then I really cried during one scene that I went through. Let's see, what was it? 2 days ago now, because I've been playing it practically every single day since Christmas.
Nice.
Okay, that checks out.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's the one where you get Goro safely out to send a message to the Shogun on the mainland. And Shimura is like, yeah, I made an announcement on this too. After the war, I'm going to adopt you as my son. And I was just like, oh my God, this is. I'm crying so much at that point. I'm just like, fuck, why are you so. Fuck.
Oh, Lord.
Cool. Have you had a chance to check out the multiplayer yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, I've
Not
never
yet.
touched that. I never even thought about it. I was like, I don't want to play that game with other people.
I actually had a fun time with their
Really?
multiplayer.
With the
I wish I had it
Legends
on. Is it called Legends? I
Yeah,
forget.
because
Yeah.
The only problem is I wish I had been playing on a PS5 because that frame rate and just like it's just not.
oh no,
PS4 is it's
No.
rough. But I actually had a really fun time. I have a character that is like full Shadow of the Colossus themed gear.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right. Well, that's Emily's top 10 games she played in 2022.
That is it. Look at that list.
Yeah,
Nice.
look at it. This is a good list.
That's a list of good games.
Those are all things you probably should have played at some point.
Yes.
I mean,
Or you
yeah.
failed as a gamer. The
Yeah.
gamer gods have spoken.
We'll take your gamer card.
Put your gamer card and your gun on the desk. You're done.
But I retire
Alright.
tomorrow. You're out of here.
All right.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Add that to the list.
All right. Now we're on to Jesse's top 10 games of 2022, because God knows Jesse and I have definitely played at least 10 games this year.
A lot. Okay, so first question, or first thing, procedurally, there's a
Mhm.
PC game I've been playing that had an arcade release in June.
I'll allow it. I'll
Okay,
allow
all
it.
right, hold on. I need to readjust my list really quickly.
That's
Okay.
fine. Showing a little bit of inside baseball on the stream of how we
Right.
create our topics list.
We need to start setting up our fantasy critic this year.
Oh God,
Oh,
that's right.
Do we want to do that next week?
Yeah, we can do that next week.
Sure.
That's a good idea.
All right.
Zelda's gonna win. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whoever's, I believe Aaron's picking first. So
Yeah,
that means he's gonna get Zelda.
I'm gonna
You should
pick.
do Bomb Rush Cyberpunk instead.
I'm going to pick it at some point. I know it's not coming out, but goddamn, maybe I can will it into existence in this year.
Damn, the shade.
How I
The
feel.
get
shade
Zelda.
being thrown. My
Yeah,
God.
and then I can get Sea of Stars and just bob my list from the first pick.
Yep.
Oh,
Um,
fuck.
Lordy.
Very good.
All right, so number 10
Number 10.
is a game that was very divisive because a lot of people went into it expecting one thing and not getting what they wanted, even though
All
like
right.
on the tin it said what the game was. And it's for me, it's Digimon Survive.
Fucking
All right.
whoa. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Starting off with a strong one. All right. I like
So
it.
it's a visual novel first and foremost, but a strategy RPG second. And a lot of people went into it thinking it was mainly going to be a strategy RPG,
Mhm.
even though like all the marketing
nope.
said
Not
check out this
that.
visual novel.
Well,
But it's like despite being about kids getting transported into the Digiverse or whatever it is that it's called,
Yeah.
it's very dark and very
Mm.
serious. Like
Right.
just the tone of the story is such that you're like, I didn't think they would do this for a kids franchise. It's like people are dying and like people are going nuts and just it's really good. The story was enough to keep me entertained, like or engrossed. Not entertained is probably the wrong word, but engrossed the
Yeah.
whole time.
Right.
And then the strategy RPG stuff was cool. I'm a strategy RPG guy, and it was pretty easy, but it was enough to keep me playing and keep me going.
I'll let No Ray all this because he's a massive Digimon fan. Like that dude loves Digimon.
I'm surprised he
so-
hasn't picked it up.
I think it's just time, and he's got other stuff going on right now, but still
Gotcha.
very.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Well. Okay. And then what's then what do you got next?
Number 9 is the only fighting game on my list.
Oh man.
Wow, shocking that I actually don't have. Oh no, do I have one this year? There was one that barely would have made the cut on mine. No, mine doesn't have one this year.
Wow.
And I really struggled between putting this one on here and KOF, because KOF is really good. It's really fun, but it didn't grab me the same way this game did. If this game still had a community that played it, like a big enough community that played it, it would be higher on my list. But DNF Duel,
DNF
is-
Duel.
it's such a good. It's
no.
Let me correct that. It's not a good game, but it's really, really fun. In fact, within the last couple of weeks, the game is fucking broken. And within the last couple of weeks, they released a balance patch. This balance patch was only buffs, and it was only buffs for it was buffs for everybody.
Okay,
Everybody got
this I
buffs,
can
even top tier
support.
characters. Like,
Really?
and I'm like, why would you do this? Like, this character already has an infinite block strength that breaks your guard meter, so you can't guard anymore, and then it's a one-touch kill from there, and it's perfect, and I love it, and it's
I mean,
so much fun.
see, you might have convinced me to start playing that again, because my favorite fighting game is what you labeled as, oh, this is a single player game now.
Yes, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that I don't have a fighting game on my list, but the one that almost made it was Persona 4 Ultimax.
Yeah.
Damn.
I played a lot of that goddamn game, and it's still my third favorite fighting game ever. So yeah, like I played that DNF Duel beta. It seemed interesting, but also I am so picky about game feel when it comes to fighting games, to the point of where I didn't enjoy it.
Right.
But
that makes
I
sense.
love its style, and I love fighting games that are just absolutely broken. So this
this game is bonkers. It's full of character archetypes in fighting games. So you have like your grappler, you have your rushdown character, you've got a couple of zoners, you've got like your footsies based character, and they're all broken. Like every single one of them is broken. And so when everybody's broken, who really is broken?
Truly.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 8?
Very good.
What's your number 8?
Sifu.
Sifu.
I was so fucking mad at myself that I didn't play it.
Yeah.
I
bought it in June.
Game. It's a.
I bought
you bought it a while ago and haven't had the chance to play it.
Yeah, because I've just been knee deep in a bunch of other games. Like, I bought the fucking hard copy too. Look at that shit.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn. It's a good game. It's a great game. If you're into martial arts movies from like the 80s and 90s, you're gonna love like the thematic style of the game. If you are into action games or fighting games, you're gonna love like the combat in the game. It's just really good, and the whole premise of the game is that each time you die, your character just gets a little older, and eventually you hit old age and die, and then you have to restart your run. As you beat levels, you're locked at the end of that level at whatever age you beat the level at, so you can continue playing as like getting progressively older and older. And the idea is that you go through it without dying and beating the game as your base age, because the boss fights in that game are brutal. They are difficult.
Damn. That's great though.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right. I'll have to check that out sometime.
Would have been a lot higher on this list, I think, but some freaking bangers came out.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
Well, what's next?
I think this one's a little low, and the reason I rated it this low is because I haven't beaten it yet. Like other things came out, and I started to play them. And it's God of War Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that's weird for me, because like that game.
yeah, I was gonna say
that game was incredible to me. I couldn't stop playing it. It got me. It got me to stop playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, this game is great," but to be honest, I can only kill enemies to open a door so many times.
But the puzzles and the story and the side quests, like that side quest with that fucking.
The visual.
It is beautiful.
Pretty. Yeah, it is.
But yeah,
I bought an 8K splitter so that I could play that game at like the maximum visual quality. And not that it does 8K, but it does 4K 120, so I can at least like max out the PS5 to play that game. But I stopped playing it when something else had come out, and I just haven't gotten back into it. I know that when I get back into it,
dude.
probably this month, because there's like nothing coming out in January, that I'll probably exclusively play it.
Yeah, that game just wrecked me. Also, like it was my heart. There's so many parts of it that just fucking was amazing. So,
Yeah.
I love the combat. It's my favorite combat system this year. I absolutely adore it. Like, especially once you start to really flesh it out and you have all three of the weapons and all the perks and shit. And
Sure.
like, I'm not one who enjoys side content in games most of the time, but anytime that like there was a side quest that had like story stuff, like that whale, or like I made sure to do it, and it always fleshed out the world in such a cool way. So I'm shocked that it's this low.
Getting to see all the shit that Odin has done is really cool.
Yeah, getting to see how much of a bastard Odin is was
Yes. Yeah.
like, man, and wait until you get to the twist in the final act. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Okay. I'll bump it up. I'll bump it up on the list of things to knock out of my backlog.
All right, yeah. All right, what's number 6?
Neon White.
Didn't play it. Another one I didn't get
playing it. I started playing it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I've got how much time do I have on this game? 12 hours.
Nice.
It's a puzzle game first and foremost. It's an FPS second. And the idea is that you get cards that have guns on them, and then you use the guns and the enemies to clear the level in the fastest time possible. It's a speedrunner's dream game. I'm not a speedrunner, but I feel like one when I'm playing this game. And like the style is it's just dripping with style. It's so good. And like when you stop and look around the areas that you're in, not that you're going to do that often, but when you look around the arenas and stuff, the game looks really good.
That was a game that I really wanted to try. I'm probably gonna wait for a Steam sale where it's heavily discounted though.
Sure. It's a good game. It's got like dating sim elements too, which is kind of weird, but as you can in each level you can pick up a gift, and then you can give a gift to a character, and then you unlock side quests that put you into like more difficult puzzles for that character, which then strengthens your relationship with the character.
Let me tell you, any game can be a dating sim if you try hard enough, is what Final Fantasy 14 taught me.
That is 100% true.
So,
yeah, I'm gonna spend 5 weeks crafting shit for you. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Go on.
It's fun. It is pretty much all I have played these last couple of weeks.
It is a game that I've watched enough of it that had I played it, I know it would be on my top 5. But
I can see that.
Yeah. So
yep.
Looks damn cool.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, which also goes kind of against the grain, is Elden Ring.
Oh, that.
No, not that one. Actually, doesn't necessarily surprise me too much.
Yeah.
I couldn't put it at number 1 because I haven't beaten it yet, and that's a technical issue and not like a gameplay issue.
That's a skill issue.
Not even
your PC skill issue.
Yeah, absolutely, it is a PC skill issue.
I bought that shit on PS5, so I didn't have that problem.
I did start to play it again recently, and it's still fun. The environment is cool. It's Dark Souls combat in an open world game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you like those two things, it's a good game for you.
I started playing that during the Christmas break we had, and I like Dark Souls more than Elden Ring. I actually find the open world more annoying than anything.
Sure.
I'm not a huge fan of open world games. I'm just over them.
I like them if you give me a really good traversal system, But like the thing I always liked about Bloodborne and Dark Souls is like I hit a wall and I know that the reason I am not breaking the wall is it is a skill issue. Maybe an itemization issue where I have to go back and grind out a couple stats, but typically skill issue. Because of the open world nature, I don't know what order I'm supposed to approach things in.
Right.
It always feels just like, oh well, fuck. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to be fighting this guy or not.
Well,
And that,
there are people that are doing the Soul Level 1 runs in Elden Ring still, so
yeah, absolutely. But I'm talking about for your general player.
yeah.
I like it. I've had fun with it. I'm gonna continue to chip away at it. But yeah, I'm gonna let everyone know it didn't make my top 10 list. Just gonna let you know now.
Okay.
I'm not too surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird for me because I love Dark Souls 3 and I adore Bloodborne, but just like if anything, it just made me want to go replay Dark Souls.
All right.
So, all right, what's your number 4?
Chained Echoes.
No idea what the fuck this is. Tell us.
It is a JRPG that came out, I think, the week before Christmas.
That's probably
Oh.
why.
I played the shit out of that game. Got the 100% achievement in it. It's got a lot. It's a 16-bit era RPG, but without any of the fat that are in 16-bit era RPGs. There's no reason to grind.
What platform is it on?
PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox, and it's on Game Pass.
Ooh. Oh fuck. Okay. Hold on.
It's got
Yeah,
it's
boot
got
up that Xbox.
influences from Xenogears. It's got it. Halfway through the game, I'm like, why am I playing Suikoden? So it's got Suikoden influences. It's got Ivalice influences. It's got Final Fantasy VII influences. There's like a materia system. The story is really good up until the last like hour, which is why it's not my number one because I hated the ending.
Bummer.
But it's a really good game. I loved every minute of that game right up until the end.
So fun fact, did you know they put Ni no Kuni on Game Pass?
Did
I did
not.
not.
Did they really?
They did.
Neat.
It is literally that. Like I just logged in to look up Chained Echoes, and like right on the front page of Game Pass, it's like, hey man, do you want to play Ni no Kuni? And I fucking love that game. So maybe.
I was like,
I
"That was
think
a
that's
good
on
game."
my list of games to pick up for my Switch. Is
That game is
Nidokuni.
that game is awesome.
It's a good game. Yeah, it's if you like Chrono Trigger, if you like Final Fantasy VI, if you like Xenogears or Suikoden 1 and 2, it's a fantastic.
I like
game.
3 out of those 4 things you mentioned. So sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a
see, I like
great-
out of
great
two of
JRPG.
those.
Nice.
All right. Cool. So, what is your number 3? Top 3? We're
Marvel Snap.
All right.
Really?
does not surprise me at all. That one was one that I was looking for a game to play when I was sick, and let me tell you, that is a perfect game to play when you are sick.
Yes. Yeah.
That
if you got
game-
like 5 minutes to kill, you'd play a game of Marvel Snap. Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I wish they had a browser client so I could play it
yes.
at work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that game is fucking awesome. No, you go into it, man.
It's a good game. It's a card game. It's made by like Brode is leading development on it. He used to lead the development for Hearthstone. So a lot of like the old Hearthstone ideas are implemented in Marvel Snap. The idea is that you've got 3 different lanes to try to win, and you play cards in each of the lanes. There's 4 slots for each of the lanes. Each lane has its own randomized like ability, so it affects your cards in different ways, and then your cards can interact with other cards and the lanes. It's really good. Last night I was just fucking around and built a deck specifically around one combo, which isn't great because if you don't get your combo, if you don't draw your combo, then you're probably going to lose. But I built a deck around a combo that ended the game with me having like 2.05 million power in each lane. Generally, you get like, I don't know, 12 to 20 in a lane at a time.
Jesus.
I got
So
the combo and I was so excited.
I have to ask, who's your favorite card currently?
Man, that's rough. The favorite card is probably Black Panther, because when you play him, he doubles his power, and then there are other cards that can cause that ability to kick off multiple times, and then there are other cards that can impact those cards, and that's part of like the combo to get that ridiculous power spike. Black Panther's really strong, but he's super easy to play against as far as like variants go. I got this Old Man Hawkeye variant from I think it's from the Logan comics, and Hawkeye is blind, but he's still like killing people with arrows and shit. It just looks sick. You can get when you get your cards, you get like their base form card, and then you can get variants that are inspired by other either eras of Marvel or other artists. So like Dan Hip, I think, is a big one. Kim Jacinto or Jacinto is another one. And then there are like cards from different eras. So there's like the steampunk cards. There are 1607 cards. There are 2099 cards. And then like as you upgrade your cards, and when you upgrade your cards, you upgrade them visually. You can then apply different comic filters like the dots, or you can make cards look like they've been drawn in ink and pencil. So there's a lot of like customization options with regards to what your cards look like.
Fair.
Monetization hasn't been too bad in it for being a free to play game.
Yeah, it's not really gross at all, and then I also really like so that's really cool. I think generally they did a really good job with it. I think my favorite card is Punisher. I fucking love Punisher. He's so fucking great in this game.
He's really good.
It's kind of ridiculous how good he is. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's
the good game is you like the best thing about it is that you start in what they call pool 1, so you get a certain amount of cards out of pool 1, and you only play people in that pool. Then you get into pool 2, and you only play people that are in pool 2 that can use pool 1 cards and pool 2 cards. Then you get into pool 3, and then you get into pool 4 and 5. So it kind of like you upgrade as you collect cards and go along and play people in your at your collection level. I'm at the point where I'm playing people that my collection level is like 1,000, and I'm playing people that are in like the 20 and 30,000s. So like once you hit a certain threshold, it's just like here's anybody.
Fair enough. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far in. I do find, and this is a problem I have with every free-to-play game, is I find their monetization and currency is the fact that there's 3 of them super frustrating.
Yes.
And it's just like, fuck. So that. All right, well, cool. I think that game is really neat. Like, there are parts of it that I kind of like. I don't. Part of the reason I like Yu-Gi-Oh so much is it's fast, but this is almost a little too fast at times. I'm just like, can we add like 2 more turns and maybe a trap card equivalent? You know.
There are cards that add more turns.
Okay, I'll have to find some of them then. All right. So what's your number 2?
Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, that game is fucking awesome.
The game is so
that game is
good.
So fucking good. Dear God.
Have let's see, I finally uninstalled it because I got the DLC and I have all the achievements. I have 80 hours in that game, which isn't a lot, I guess. I thought I had a lot more, but
I mean it's a lot more than I have, but like let's put it this way. I played like 4 hours of it total, and it is on somewhere on my top 10 list.
It's a good game. You are the bullet hell.
The real thing here though is garlic is best power up.
Garlic is really good for a while.
For a while, okay. I'm curious.
Yeah, there's better stuff out there, and better combinations of stuff out there, and like you can evolve your weapons. It's a roguelike, but it's got a really simple like base mechanic, and that you're running around shooting stuff, and you're shooting stuff automatically. So you're if you have like the magic wand, for example, it homes in on people, or if you have garlic, you get a stone of death that sits around you. You can evolve your weapons to be better weapons. You can, as you progress through the game, you get more characters, you get more weapons, you get more.
So is there like a
equipment.
hard end to this, or is it just endless? That's
No, it's
my big
endless.
question.
It's endless.
Okay. So
Yeah,
then,
there's
just
and
wait
I
until I get
guess
bored.
they released a roadmap recently and said they're planning on adding more stuff to the base game.
Well, this
Um,
game was kind of fucking crazy because it was one of those things where like I couldn't believe how fast this blew up. It was very PUBG
Yeah.
and there were a
Yeah.
bunch of clones overnight and like just it kind of went nuts. So, all right,
When
well,
the first
cool.
time I saw it, I thought it looked super stupid. I thought it looked real dumb. I was like, this is not gonna go anywhere. And then I got it and was like, okay, there's something here. And then suddenly it was huge.
I thought it looked awesome, but then I played it and I found out you were not controlling the bullets.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb. But then I was at Stella's house, like on my laptop, playing it for like 3 hours straight. So
It's such a good game. It's super cheap. I think it's less than
$5
$5.
now. I
Yeah.
did $5 now.
$4.99.
So
The DLC is, and I wouldn't get the DLC until you have like gotten everything in the base game, but the DLC is $2.
Okay.
yeah, they did a real good job with that.
Yeah, it's a good game.
All right, your number one, your game of the year, my man.
So this game's kind of a cop out, but this is the game where the arcade version released in the middle of the year. It's a rhythm
It's a
game.
rhythm game, is yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 100% a rhythm game. And anytime I go to round one, it is all I play. And I have the home version and the controller's right here. But it is Sound Voltex Exceed
Yeah.
Gear.
You and I need to go to round one sometime and square up in Street Fighter, but that's another
Absolutely.
story.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
It's I don't know how to describe this game. It's got I think the controller is going to probably be the best visual, but it's got 6 lanes. So you've got the white buttons and the black buttons, and then it's got these knobs that you can rotate. And as you're playing, there are lasers on the screen, and you guide the knobs in time to the lasers while also pushing the buttons on the lanes. And it sounds super complicated, and at higher levels it really is. But the game is so much fun that I play this.
Was this one of these crazy import controllers you bought over like the okay, that checks out as well.
Yep. There's an official PC version you can play there that costs like $12 a month in US dollars. There are they don't call them emulators, they call them simulators. So there's 2 different simulators that you can get and play that feel pretty close to the real thing, but not quite. It's if you are into rhythm games, it is hands down my favorite rhythm game, and it just feels so fun to play when playing. I have not played any other rhythm game that is anything like this one.
Jesus Christ.
It is insane, and I love it.
I decided to look at some video and like, Jesus Christ.
When I do decide to stream on Mondays for Rhythm Game Mondays, it is the game that I play.
Wow. All right. Be sure to tune into that because this is a game to be seen.
That's so good.
So before we get to Aaron and I, we're gonna take a quick break.
Yeah.
Quick little, get some coffee, go to the bathroom, all that good stuff.
Yep.
And we're
be right back. All right, we're back. Ooh. So.
Stretch it out. Let's go.
Yep. All right, it's my turn.
I believe it is.
Okay. So I didn't have a great 2022 in terms of games that I was interested in. Didn't play a whole lot of video games in general, to be honest with you. Beyond what we did for the show, of course. But and it'll kind of reflect that as we go through this list, and it'll be pretty quick moving through this. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Got me intrigued at least.
Number 10, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Oof. Okay, I see what you mean.
I almost made it on my list.
Yeah.
Almost.
It was a struggle filling that number 10 spot.
Yeah. I enjoy this game. I'm playing it right now. I have played this game more than most of the other games on this list.
Oof.
Really?
I'm still having a good time with it. But man, like, I was more generous with time for the people working on these games to like modernize in terms of technical capability, and they're just not getting it
At all. In any way, shape, or form, which is which is awful considering,
the creative aspects of this game are still pretty damn good. Like, it's still
that
Pokemon.
Stuff looked super fucking cool. That's not the part of it that I'm fucking grilling them over and being like, God, you guys suck. Like, especially considering it's the most creative one they've put out in
a while.
Forever.
I mean, it's a shame. The worst parts of the creative bits are when they're like, we need to do something that like you only do with a console, and it's like, okay, well, we're limited by the technical abilities of our team to do console stuff, so guess what, you're gonna kick this ball around these like low walls to try and get it to a point, and it just sucks. It's just bad.
All right.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed the region. I like all the characters. I love their designs and just who they are. It's fun. I enjoy running around with a Pokemon around this open world.
Fair enough.
Very interested in it. But so yeah, I'm a big Pokemon fan. The Pokemon game was going to make it, but
does not surprise me.
Yeah, it's kind of down there.
Right.
Number 9, Windjammers 2.
Fuck yes, this game was so goddamn awesome.
It's a good game.
Hey,
it's a good game.
You like some Windjammers?
I do like Windjammers. Windjammers is fucking awesome.
Here's a modern Windjammers. And you know what? They did it. It was good.
They accomplished the mission.
They accomplished that mission. Did not play it for very long, to be honest with you. But I was like, hell yeah. I'm glad to see people were playing some Windjammers for a time.
I put a solid month into it, and then Lost Ark happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was other stuff we had to get to. But yeah, just happy that game got made. Hope those developers did well. Number 8, Hyper Demon. This game, the sequel to Devil Daggers.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Every time I look at that game, I'm like, man, it's a weird looking game.
It's a weird looking game. It's honestly the best part is just seeing how insane it looks. Yeah, I had a good time. Like, again, that's another game you have to put time in to be really good at it. But they put in both a tutorial to help you understand how to play the game, and then they have their video feature, which people then use to explain certain techniques they use to get through like early portions of the game and things like that, combined with just doing crazy stuff towards the end.
And this also has like N64 style aesthetic.
Closer to PlayStation 1, I suppose.
But
if PlayStation 1 did drugs.
Okay, so yeah, that's probably why I skipped it.
Yeah, it looks great. I love looking at it, but
I am not a fan of that era of video games visually.
Sure.
And it's weird that we're starting to get the age where like that kind of visuals is causing nostalgia, so it's going to be popular. and I am going to just be like, "Yep, okay,
Yeah.
cool." Which is weird because like I grew up in that era. Like my first system that was mine and not like the households was a Nintendo 64.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, you know, if it makes you feel any better, they're going to do what they did with the 8-bit and 16-bit eras, which is like they like that style, but it's obviously going to be better and more than the capabilities of those consoles because it's like a super idealized version.
Yes, and that'll be very cool.
Yep.
To be fair.
Let's see. Number 7, Compound. This is a VR game. That also did
Oh yeah, this one looks really good.
PS1-esque kind of graphics. And it was just that was the first time for me of just like a full-on shooter beyond like Half-Life Alyx. It was just like, oh, okay, here's this procedurally generated world, and instead of trying to be realistic looking and failing like a lot of them do, they're committing to this more retro look and seeing that in 60 frames and seeing your character and your guns doing that. It was a good VR experience, and it was like I could see a future of like a number of video games that are just this. I think they could do more with it. I could see how like it immediately made me think of like, what if this is successful, what does a Compound 2 look like? So
very similar to Project Bones in that way.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, number 6 is Rollerdrome.
Yeah,
That
it
game
is.
looked really fucking cool.
That's a good game.
That is a cool looking game. There's admittedly not a whole lot to it. This is another game where it's like, it just made me think, what does Rollerdrome 2 look like? Because I feel like they were this is the game to prove the concept of the core gameplay mechanics, and I think they did great. I think creating this like puzzle shooter with a trick system with various challenges and all is fantastic. I want to see more of that. But
fair enough.
Kind of a small game for what it is. But so I hope to see more of that from them.
Yes, I really enjoyed that game. That was it knows what it's doing and it does it well.
Yeah. Yep.
It seemed cool. I want to play it, but time, money.
Exactly. Yep. Wait for a big sale so you can spend like a couple hours with it, and then you'll have experienced the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Number 5, Splatoon 3.
I would be shocked if it wasn't on this list.
Yeah, even though I'm bad at it, and we've talked a bit about it already, but I really enjoy that game. It's more Splatoon, and they're continuing to do what makes Splatoon great, and what makes Splatoon Splatoon, good and bad. So I'm into it. Number 4 is Ollie Ollie World. This is just a cool.
Also checks out.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Yep. Another game from the developers that brought you Rollerdrome, Ollie Ollie World.
Popular with you this year.
Turns out making skateboard and skateboard adjacent games gets my interest.
Weird.
And yeah, I know.
Who knew?
Especially when the only competitors are Skater XL and Session, which are two skating developers who are actively pissing off their fan bases. Ollie Ollie World is fantastic. That's a great 2D. Ollie Ollie was interesting to me, but it never was like a lot. Like it never really pulled me in. I was always like, I just want another good full 3D skating game, and this is not that. But a lot of really cool creative style. The ability to they have their story mode where they have these particularly made levels, and then they have a procedural mode with lots of customization that you can do with that. Lots of customization for your character. Skating those levels are just a lot of fun. That's just a cool vibe that it has, and that's a fun little game. If you're just want to play a 2D skateboarding game that's like a puzzle. I don't know. It's a fun, casual, nice time.
I thought the first one was very cool. I just never gelled with 2D skating games.
Yeah, I get it.
So it was one of those things where it's like, whatever.
Fair enough.
All right,
yeah.
Cool.
Number 3, Pokemon Legends. Pokemon Legends Arceus, I think, is what it's called.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the title. Not surprising.
I was gonna say,
This
that kind
was
of checks out.
this was like the only product that gave me hope for Pokemon.
I
Like,
mean, yeah.
Yeah, like I have had so little hope for Pokemon for so long that even though this game is fucked still, in my opinion, that like at least gives me a glimmer of hope of like, okay, they can get there.
Because
They
before
can.
this, they had the new Pokemon Snap, which I really enjoyed. I think that was
loved
good.
Pokemon Snap. Like,
Yeah. And then before that was Pokken Tournament.
Yeah.
That was a good
yeah,
one.
Pokken Tourney.
Yeah.
That's a great game. It's just not a Pokemon. Like you know what I mean. It's not like
I know what you mean.
Adventure. Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
it's
I'm just saying,
it's
utilizing
like
the Pokemon property, I think those have been the best of recent years.
yeah, it's it's like Persona Ultimax or Persona Dancing All Night. Like very
Yeah.
different animal
Right.
from
Yes.
the core Persona.
And I feel like I am just happy to see them trying different things with Arceus.
Branching out of that Pokemon formula.
Yeah, just a little bit. Like, it's still very much there, but they're trying different stuff with it. And
Testing
I was
the
not
waters
great
a
at
little
it.
bit.
Yeah, I was not great at it. I'll tell you right now, I was not good.
But were you still having fun? Is the question. Like, did you actually enjoy yourself while working on or while playing this game?
I think so. Like,
Okay.
look, you got to understand a lot. That's my answer to a lot of top 10s. This goes back to like just my relationship with video games, I think, changed over this year. It had been for a while, but this year it hit really hard.
This year was very interesting for me as well because like I liked a lot of games, but I didn't love a lot of games. I guess is the best way I would describe it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, go on.
I just want to see more of this. Not specifically this, but just they're trying stuff. They're trying different things, and that's great. I want to see you making those moves. And as we've discussed to death on this podcast, I'd like to see the money and people and time put into like making these full-on console like AAA experiences with this creative direction of trying different stuff. Even if it's like revealing the new region and the new Pokemon is through the standard kid formula, and then you do your more adult-oriented approach or bigger budget approach. Yes, I'd do that outside of that.
Yes, anything to make it so I can get Pokemon inching closer to what Persona is basically what I would want. Because like whenever I play Persona, I'm like, oh, this is kind of what an adult Pokemon would be like, and that's really awesome. I want more of that.
Right.
So all right, well, cool.
Yeah.
What's number two?
Number two is Stride, which is a VR game that officially released this year.
I like how you have become our VR guy, Aaron, and I absolutely love it. It's so great.
I need to become more of the VR guy. It's just that VR games are expensive, so you got to pick and choose.
They are. Yeah, they are.
They
very expensive.
are.
Yeah. So this game just got like movement down right. It's Mirror's Edge VR, as I've said a number of times before on this podcast, and there's a fantastic like goal-oriented mode where you're running around on a map of rooftops and you're shooting guys and taking down drones and other things. And then there's a kind of speedrun mode where you're kind of like outrunning this wave of darkness coming to eliminate you, and it's kind of like Cannibal but 3D and VR. And then there's apparently a multiplayer mode. I have not touched that, but you can do like a deathmatch mode within Stride. They just recently had a patch that adds full bodies and local. I don't know what that means, but I guess with your friends. I don't know. I didn't take a look at that because I'm honestly personally not interested in that aspect of the game. But especially after playing Half-Life Alyx, which I think is a great game, but was clearly still very early on in figuring out movement, climbing ladders, falling down, things like that. Stride, I feel like, gets that right in a lot of ways.
I just want they need to figure out how to not make me motion sick.
That's a problem they're going to be dealing with for a while. Let me tell you. I don't know what the fix to that is, because even as someone who's been trying to get more and more into VR, like 2 to 3 hours is what I got, and then I need to take a break.
God, I wish I could get 2 to 3 hours. I got 1, and I'm just like, unless it's Beat Saber. Beat Saber is the one where I can do about 2, or anything that's like stationary. But if you have something like Half-Life Alyx, it's just I got 1 hour, and I'm like, I got it off, get it off.
I did that. I did that stream of Resident Evil 4 VR, and it was like an hour and a half, and it's like, okay, switching down to sitting mode. Okay, here's my water. All right. Stride's also a decent workout game. You got to like squat to slide, and you're to run. You have to move your hands up like this, and it's good. Okay. It's a good time. You got a little grappling hook to like Spider-Man swing around, and that's a fun game. I want to play more Stride.
Ready to try it after this?
Yes, you do. Yes.
We'll give it a shot.
It's a good time.
All right, and then your game of the year, my man.
I feel. All right, let's talk about it.
I'm really excited. No, I'm really excited.
Oh God.
Mixed feelings. But I know it's the right answer.
Is it the right answer for you? This is your personal list.
Yeah.
Again,
it's Elden Ring, and you hate Elden Ring. I mean,
video games were a mistake.
So Elden Ring.
This is the best year ever. Never mind.
I put 70 hours into it, and which I don't put a lot of time into a lot of video games, but I think if you took all the time I spent on all of these games, I think it may match Elden Ring. My 10 through 2 amount of time I put in may match Elden Ring. It may fall short.
Okay.
I found out playing Elden Ring that Souls games are not for me. I bashed my head
before you started.
It's important for me to feel it, to know when I play the game. It's like this is the reason why streaming video games works so well. Is that you can watch it, you can experience the story and all that, but you need to actually feel it in order to really experience, a video game. And so,
all right. Yeah. Okay. I see your argument. Go on.
Just real quick, played 70 hours, got through Radon and I'm forgetting all the names, Margit and the other one that's in the early bits of bosses. Played a decent chunk, and it was after Radon. It was at first I acknowledge that this is really cool, and then on my 20th revive and going, all right, can we just finish this? Can we be done? And then I finish it. It's thank God that's done. And then the game, it goes back into open world mode. It's oh, fuck, I got to play more. Which is a ridiculous feeling to have. And so I realized that those games are not for me. However, I kept coming back because this style of game, in terms of I jump in and there's no quest markers. There's no lists of things for me to get. There's a lot of mystery, and that's a two-sided coin of I love this mystery. I got to go out into this world and figure out what the hell's going on. And then once I've bashed my head against every single corner of this map and I can't get anywhere, it's okay, am I really going to have to go and look up a guide on specifically which weapon to get to make this easier so I can progress through the game, which takes away the mystery of it all. And then it's I don't know.
I mean, you could do what I've been doing, which is just grinding out mobs for stats to fucking finally beat bosses.
I did that for a while, and after a while, I said, I hate this. This is not a fun way to play this game.
No. Once again, I it's like all of that part is the part where I was like, oh, Aaron's gonna fucking hate this game.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. But there are so many aspects of this game outside of the gameplay. Every aspect of it I really enjoy and I want to see in more video games. I want people to, when people make open world games, I would appreciate like an approach like this without the Souls-esque approach to difficulty. I know Souls fans are argue against it's not that difficult, but like, come on.
Like my whole thing with it is it's not that difficult on the curve of all video games, but compared to like if you've been playing every other game on your list, Aaron, yes, this game is going to be balls to the walls hard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So
so yeah, I get it.
I think it's just a really cool game. I'm never gonna finish it. It looks neat. It sounds great. I like the music. I like the world. And yeah, but it really capped off for me of like, what am I playing video games for? What is it? What am I trying to get out of this?
Not this.
Not this. But
Not like this. Not like this.
so yeah, that's my very complicated and weird top 10.
Yeah, like I said, Elden Ring, it's funny that you talk about the open world stuff, is like, because to me, that was the part of Elden Ring where I found this shit so frustrating, and I was just like, alright, cool, I'm gonna play more of this, but it's definitely no longer a priority.
And I get that. And as someone who is bad at the game, the open world bits, like, okay, they tell you to go explore somewhere else because like if you're not passing it, you may not be in the right place. And then I go to all places. I'm like, I'm stuck everywhere. Everywhere I am stuck. I don't know.
There was nowhere else for me to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in my case, it was like, alright, so I'm stuck on these, but I don't know which ones I'm supposed to be stuck on and which one of these I'm supposed to just beat my face against. God damn it, this is annoying.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, well, cool. So far we have Ghost of Tsushima, a crazy rhythm game, and Elden Ring.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that checks out.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're on to me.
We're on to you.
All right, Bronson. Number 10.
So I actually have to open mine with an honorable mention.
Okay.
Oh.
Because it did not come out this year, and I put 30 hours into it, and I'm still playing it, and I'm loving every goddamn minute of it, and that's Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
I adore the world, the music, the characters, the humor. Every time I'm playing it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally America in 50 years. Totally.
Yeah, sure.
Yep, this will happen. Yep.
Yep.
That checks out.
Yeah, like 100%. Like no doubt. Like it's gorgeous. Like I'm maxing it out on my 3080, and it's just like I'm taking screenshots all the time because of how good it looks. I cannot stress to you how good Cyberpunk 2077 has gotten now that it is mostly fixed.
Nice. Good.
And it is, and the glitches that are still there are mostly just funny haha glitches.
Gotcha.
Not annoying glitches. So
Like game-breaking glitches.
yes, exactly. So yeah, on my actual top 10 list though. Let me make sure that I have 10 here. Give me one sec.
Okay.
I need to make sure. I'm sorry.
Useful. Otherwise, it's no longer going to be an honorable mention.
Right.
Okay, so I had one game too many. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
So number 10 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
All
Holy
right.
shit, they made a good one of these.
Yes, they did.
Call of Duty comes out every year, and I play it every year, and it's really hit or miss. Black Ops Cold War was mediocre. Vanguard was just trash. And then like Modern Warfare 1 was amazing, and this is just as amazing, if not more so. I love the core gameplay. The maps are really fun. I can't wait to get into Spec Ops with you guys and raids with you guys to try the co-op stuff. Warzone is still the best battle royale in my mind. This just fucking kills it. Like they just nail what Call of Duty is all about, and it's probably the best one of these I've played since the Modern Warfare reboot, which came out 3 years ago, if not since Black Ops 2, which came out 10 years ago.
All right.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Number 9 for me, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
Ah,
I have been begging for years for them to put out a sim Yu-Gi-Oh! Game.
mhm.
Like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that is like, hey, this is just the TCG, but in a free-to-play card game. And they
Mhm.
did, and it's fucking awesome. Like I played so much of this on my Xbox and my PC. Like I made my Blue Eyes deck and I got up to gold and I'm trying to weasel my way into platinum with it, and just it's a blast. And I love going in and tweaking. And the free to play aspects aren't as gross as they could be.
Hmm.
Like there's only one currency. There's a battle pass that you can buy with that currency. The really annoying part, in all honesty, is just and I feel this is just a problem with TCGs in general, is just like, well, we're not selling a pack for the kind of deck you want to build right now, so just buy packs, disenchant all the crap that you don't need to craft the cards you need, but that takes forever, and
Yep.
you know, the game encourages you to spend money. But like, god damn it, dude, they did it. They did it. They made a goddamn Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that is just the TCG, and it has online play and it's super good. So good job.
Nice. Good.
Number 8. This is one I shared with Aaron. Windjammers 2.
Nice.
Okay.
Windjammers is awesome, just flat out.
Yep.
It is super fun. It has a lot of the stuff I like about fighting games, but without the learning curve.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can actually sit down and have my friends like, "Hey, come on, check out Windjammers 2." You know, and they can play it and have a good time instead of just like, "Oh, hey, let's play Dragon Ball Fighters or Street Fighter," and I just smoke them.
You just beat the
Right.
shit out of you
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, fantastic game. Absolutely love it. I wish there were still more people playing it, because nowadays getting a match is a
Yeah, exactly, right?
not easy process, to say the least.
Ugh.
But yeah, next up was a game that surprised the living shit out of me. Like I played it because it was a new release for the podcast on Game Pass, and I beat it in 2 days.
Okay.
As Dusk Falls.
All right.
It's a good game.
That is it does the Telltale thing, but it tells a really good story
Mhm.
that has a lot of stuff to say about society, to say the least, and people and how they behave in certain situations. It's one of those games that the entire time I was enthralled by the narrative, and the gameplay is, it's a Telltale style game, so
Mhm.
you know what you're getting.
Yep.
Next up is a game I still want to play with you folks co-op, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Ooh,
Nice.
okay.
You know, they put out a new Ninja Turtles game, and it was awesome.
Yep.
That's it. The music is great. The combat is super fun. I mean, it is the Streets of Rage 4 people, so that makes sense. But yeah, man, I played that game so much. My favorite turtle ended up being Leonardo to play as.
Nice.
And yeah, like they did just an amazing job with it. Like there's, if you liked those old games but you want a polished modern version of them,
hmm
spot on.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So now we're into the top 5, and these were the games that I enjoyed the most and impacted me the most, and all of them are no surprise to anybody. Number 5 is Destiny 2: The Witch Queen.
No surprise.
Beating our face against me, Ray, and Yuko, beating our face against that game on Legendary is some of the most fucking goddamn fun I've had playing a game in forever.
Nice.
And the story was really great. The new exotics were a lot of fun. They cleaned up a lot of the in-game systems. My big complaint is it's still very, and they're fixing this in the upcoming expansion, but it's still really hard to get other people into the game. Like that's the big issue with it is like if you want to get friends into Destiny or you're a lapsed Destiny player, this is going to be fucking hell on earth.
It's true. I tried getting into it this year and was like, there's so much.
But like, man, if you were initiated beforehand, this is the best it's been since Forsaken, maybe even Taken King.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, and it's only gotten better throughout the year because they've really cleaned up PvP. Like they have a ranking ladder now, so you're not just automatically matched with people who are going to blow you out of the water most of the time. It's just they did a great job with it. Witch Queen is great. It's the best Destiny 2 itself has ever been. So there you go.
Nice. Okay.
Number 4 is another MMO, surprising no one. Is World of Warcraft Dragonflight.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised it's number 1. I knew it was going to be in top 5.
Yeah, so Dragonflight is it's not perfect. I think the story is very vanilla, which is fine after what they've been going through. But I love all the side story stuff.
Right.
Like where you help to go help an ecologist rescue ducks.
Mhm.
Or like or where you have to help gay centaurs get married.
Sure.
Like
Yeah, the side quests are really good.
They're super good, and that made the leveling process and going for lore master process super fun. They totally stole dragon riding from Guild Wars, and
Thank God.
it's great. It's one of the best things they've ever added to the game. I now want them to like. I played Guild Wars and I mess around with the mounts. I want them to steal all of the mounts from Guild Wars. Every single one of them. They need to steal the fucking jackal. They need to steal the roller beetle. They need to steal the dragon. They need because dragon riding is basically the griffin from Guild Wars. So they need to go steal all those motherfuckers. Every single one of them.
Nice.
It makes traversal so much goddamn fun. It like getting around the like literally I will just fly around the Dragon Isles for fun.
Nice.
Like I don't have anything to do. I'm just like literally just flying around looking for, dirt piles to dig up. Like that's it. It's fun. And the biggest change that they made to this game is the simple fact that you don't have a giant weekly chore list.
Nice.
Because that's related to player power, at least, I should say. Because the big problem with Shadowlands and Battle for Azeroth and even Legion, but just to a lesser extent, was, I have this massive list of things I need to do every week so I can stay up with the power grind. Because all that side stuff affected your power. You needed artifact power. You need to level your Azerite. You needed your legendaries. You need to do your Torghast runs. You need to do this long fucking laundry list of shitty chores that sucked. That's not the case anymore. And even the chores in this expansion are fun. Like doing the Tuskar soup thing is fun. Doing the fucking world bosses is fun. Like a lot of that stuff is very entertaining. Like I maxed out rep with the black dragons immediately so I could have a black dragon. And I had a good time doing it every week. I went in, I did those weeklies. They didn't take particularly long. And then I left and I did that for 3 weeks, and oh shit, I can buy black dragon skins now.
Yep.
Hey.
Super easy, super fun.
Cool.
I know people who did the same thing because they wanted a blue dragon, and they went and they made a whole shit ton of soup for the walrus people.
Nice.
And they did that. And the thing is, though, none of it's mandatory to keep up with the core parts of the game, which are like, if you're like Anthony and you just kind of want to log in and do Mythic Plus and play with the homies, all you have to worry about is gear. Just gearing. That's it. That's the whole shebang. That's the whole thing. That's what you're doing. and they did a great job with it. You know.
What's the what's the easiest way to level alts, do you think?
So that's a thing that you're gonna have to ask me later because I have only done my main really. I know today I'm supposed to start working on my alt to help Stella with her main. So I'm gonna be leveling I'm gonna be leveling my Frost Mage with her doing the story again. So my third character will be the run where I try their like open leveling path system they have.
Right.
I honestly think if you're a tank or a healer, the answer is get a bunch of rested XP and then just farm dungeons.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's the honest answer. But like, I love how alt friendly it is. Like legit, I have because all your dragon riding stuff carries over to your alts. Guess what? I have a maxed out dragon whenever I play on my alt. That's awesome. That's great. I think the new profession stuff is super great. Like they made professions relevant again.
Yeah.
Like if you're because like you look at those crafting orders and you're just like, oh man, if you're a crafter, you can make bank because you can do like hundreds of those an hour. Or well, not hundreds because you have a weekly limit, but you get my meaning.
Yeah. Yeah. You do a ton.
And then on the other side of that, like if you're someone who really needs gear now and you have mats and you can afford mats, like fucking awesome. Just get your shit made. So it is the best World of Warcraft has been since Legion, maybe since MOP.
Good lord.
And it's in a great place. And they actually put out a content roadmap. And they're adding this thing called the trading post where you will be able to just do weeklies to be able to buy stuff that's no longer in the game or buy stuff that's on the store. Like, so the shit that's used to be you have to pay money for, you can now grind out dailies and weeklies for. Bro. Oh, so good. No, I hope that this is not a Shadowlands scenario where in a couple of in a year I come back and well that was fucked.
Right.
But it doesn't seem that way. They did a real good content roadmap. The launch content's really good. Like the worst thing I can say about Dragonflight is the story's kind of mid so far, and the launch was a little buggy. So, but there were 3 games I liked more than it. So,
wow.
All right. Top 3, folks.
Let's go.
Number 3. In spite of all its technical issues, Bayonetta 3 is fucking incredible.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That game,
I understand.
That game's combat is the best in the business, and they added more to it.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Like, oh man, now you can summon giant kaiju monsters to fight for you.
Yeah.
That shit is so hype. There are so many moments in that game that just drop my jaw to the floor because of the crazy shit they were doing with summons.
Nice.
The combat's still great. My main complaints are the sections where you play as Jean. I know they're not long, but they suck. They're bad. They're not fun. They're frustrating. They're bad. They're just bad. There's no other way to describe it. And I like Viola as a character. Once I figured out her combat, I enjoyed it a lot. But it's just not as in depth as Bayo's, and it feels lacking when you compare the two.
Okay.
But I could not get over how many set pieces in this game and how much of the combat I was enjoying as Bayonetta.
Nice.
So, and then I also noticed that the game becomes a lot more linear in the second half, and those technical issues really start to go away.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. Or you can just play it on an emulator and not have any of these problems. So
yeah.
That's an option too. I played it on the Switch, so
yeah.
But yeah, my number 2 is Lost Ark.
Oh. Wow.
That game looks so cool, but I like it. I couldn't do it.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. It had all the best parts of almost every MMO to me. The combat was super fun. Professions were somewhat interesting. The world was so fucking weird and cool. They actually made me like side content a lot. Like, there's literally a side content which is to go to a vacation rave island.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
and like, there's like this battle for Helm's Deep section in the fucking story, and there's a pirate
yeah, there
island
is.
and a gladiator island and a fucking like I mean, let's put it this way: I played 250 hours of that game in a month.
Yep.
You know. Now,
Yeah.
I will say part of that is because I also had a lot of free time and met my now girlfriend through Lost Ark.
Hmm.
But yeah, like that game. Let's put it this way: like Stella and I were talking the other day. We're like, all right, look, we are not that far away from tier 3 where the gear grind doesn't matter as much anymore. We just need to commit and go back.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And that's the reason why it's number 2. It would have been number 1 if it weren't for the fact that getting into raid gear is super easy. Getting from tier 1 to tier 2 is kind of hard, but getting from tier 2 to tier 3, especially at the end, feels like so goddamn punishing, and like it's trying to force you to buy the upgrade currency with cash.
Ugh.
That's the whole reason. That's the whole problem with the game. Everything else, the alts are great. Making an alt super easy to get caught up, a lot of fun. Game is wildly like just the world, the characters, the fucking style. They're doing a 96 player PvP mode in March.
Jesus.
They keep adding new classes and new raids, and the raids and chaos dungeons were super fun, and they were like challenging, but it never felt cheap challenging. It felt like, oh, I suck at this, I need to be better challenging.
Okay.
But the currency grind, and then like the RNG behind the gear quality and like getting your build right also can technically be a money sink, and those two things feel like they are really gross and forcing you into that financially almost.
Gotcha.
But like, man, I was willing to overlook that for a very fucking long time, and so there you go.
Cool. Yeah. That was a big moment for us for that 1 month.
Yeah, that 1 month where I was going so ham on that shit. Yeah, it was something, and I might be going back. So
It's right. Yeah. All right.
And the number 1, this should be no surprise. It's God of War Ragnarok.
Hey.
Funnily enough, Aaron and I, the 2 channel leads, also picked the 2 games that were
The big front runners.
for the whole fucking year. It's probably the most fun I've had in a combat system this year. It is like everything feels weighty and brutal and just super just visceral, but there's like, and it's simple, but there's a lot of depth. So like that's part of why I really liked it. As far as the combat's concerned, the story is fantastic. There's only one part. There are two parts in the story that feel like lulls and drag on a little bit. It's where you play as the second character. That's all I'm gonna say in regards to that. But the ending is spectacular. The side quest narratives are as good as the main quest narratives a lot of the time. Music is good. I had the soundtrack playing in the background forever. It's honestly the best looking game of the fucking year in my mind. I can't say enough good things about this fucking game. Like it's incredible. It made me want to replay the series.
Sure.
Like yeah, like I cannot stress how much I enjoyed God of War Ragnarok. I put 40 hours into it. I'm sitting here going like, yeah, I can go back and 100% it. I can go track down the rest of those side quests and other stuff because of how much just goddamn fun I was having. And like I said, the only bad thing I have to say is there are two parts in the story that just feel like they fucking drag.
Okay.
But even they were important for characterization stuff, and the end of one of them was legitimately really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like it's this is the perfect example of like, yeah, Sony first party fucks up a lot, and they can be really annoying. But when Sony first party nails it, they fucking nail it.
Right.
And not many devs out there are making single player games with no microtransactions or weird bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those. And I'm a sucker for a narrative based action adventure game, and they once again just completely nail it. It's the game that, like, outside of Lost Ark and now Cyberpunk, it is the game that this year that I kept being excited to wanting to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
Like every other game, it's like every other game besides those two, I was like, yeah, I can take a break. I'd rather go hang out with my girlfriend, or I got homework to work on, or whatever the fuck. But like these were the two that, like, no, fuck, dude, no, I want to play more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what signifies a good game to me in a lot of ways, and that is why it's my game of the year. So
awesome, great pick.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
So can we read off the number one, or I'll go ahead and read off the number ones. I got them here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emily's number one of 2022, Ghost of Tsushima. I know how to say this.
You good?
Jesse's number one is Sound Voltex Exceed Gear. My number one is Elden Ring. And Bronze's number one is God of War Ragnarok.
That's a weird good list.
It's a weird list, but it's all good.
It's a weird list.
I'm looking forward to this year. There's a lot of good shit coming out.
Oh yeah.
You think?
Shit. Yeah, dude. Like,
Zelda,
I was talking
Starfall.
I was talking.
Forspoken.
I was talking with
16.
Stella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking with Stella about this. Like, May and June is gonna decimate my wallet.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Because we're supposed to get Suicide Squad, Zelda, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, and then one other game I'm forgetting.
Is it Diablo? Is that when Diablo 4?
Diablo's in June.
Yeah. We're also getting The Wolf Among Us 2. And just that year, we're getting Wolf Among Us 2. We're getting Redfall, Starfield, Exoprimal, Spider-Man 2 at some point, Alan Wake
Spider-Man 2
2, an Avatar game.
Okay.
And the Avatar is the Blue People
the
movie
blue
series,
ones.
not the
Yeah.
The
Star Wars
Last Airbender.
Jedi Survivor, Wild Hearts, which is EA's take on Monster Hunter. Like, there's a lot coming.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
I'm getting the impression we'll be reviewing all of these releases next week.
Yes. Sea of Stars. Like a Hogwarts
Dead Island
Legacy
2 is actually coming out.
I'll believe it when I see it on that
I
one.
know, right? Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy in February.
Yeah, dude, just oh my god. And like I said, I'm not confident in Sea of Stars making it out, but I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of good shit coming. Like it's 2023, the next gen cometh.
Yeah.
And like this is also the point where we're either getting entirely different versions for next gen, or no last gen version at all. Like, so like Jedi Survivors next gen only, Hogwarts Legacy's version is completely different, Suicide Squad the Justice League next gen only, Final Fantasy next gen only. Like we're here, people. We made it. We made it. Fucking Lord. Oh, Lordy. So yeah, man. It's 2022 was something else. We got through it. We did it. We made it. Thank fucking God.
Summer of 2022. It was something else. I'm glad we got through it.
Well,
Put that on 2022's tombstone.
We did it. We got
Here
through it.
lies 2022.
This is something else.
Mhm.
Oh, Lord.
Well,
God.
looking forward to another year.
Another fun year of podcasting. Let's go.
And chaos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh my goodness, Cart
Oh
Bale
my
is
God,
rating.
Cart Bale is here. What's going on?
Thanks for the raid.
Good.
Thanks, dude. I guess we should review all our #1 game of the years for
We can do that.
the people.
We can do that. Thank you all for coming in.
Cart. Yeah, dude, long time. Yeah, we've been. Oh, yeah, raid. Cart was playing Stray. I beat Stray earlier in the year, or middle. Actually, I beat it like a week after it came out. So that's cool, man. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was all right. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Raid.
We were just finishing up our best of 2022 stream.
Yes.
We each had a list of 10, and
You want to show those for the people, Aaron?
let's go. This is Emily's top 10 that she played in 2022.
Yes, Emily is the person who does not stay on top of the new hotness all the time, but does play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of make a custom rule set for her.
Would we say her top 2022 game is Disney Dreamlight Valley?
Yes.
There you go.
obviously.
No, my #1 for 2022 was Ghost.
Well,
No,
I mean,
I'm saying
that
for
came out in
2022
2022.
releases. Yeah.
Oh, for 2022 releases, yes, it would be Dreamlight Valley because I was
Yeah.
playing the ever-loving shit out of that game.
Comments in the chat. We haven't strayed too far from the path. Aha!
Fuck you.
And then Ghost of Tsushima, awesome game. Yes, Ghost of
Thank you.
Tsushima
Thank
is
you.
fantastic. It's super
Yep.
good.
Yes.
Now we got Aaron's list.
Or no, we got Jesse's list here.
Oh, Jesse's list. Sorry, my bad.
Yep. Which #1 Sound Voltex Exceed Gear. Has anyone
Weird list.
part of this raid
Nobody's
party
heard of that
heard
game.
this? You sure?
No,
All
Dude,
right.
this list is wild.
You never
This is
know.
such a wild list.
You want niche content? You can come here.
Yeah, exactly. Go follow HR Ninja. Get some good rhythm
the-
content.
Yeah, the best Ubisoft open world clone game. Yes, I agree with that.
Oh,
About
yeah, yeah.
All
Part of
right.
Metal Gear, no. I
Nope.
wish, but no. It is a
Oh,
Weeby
God.
rhythm game. So if you're into Weeby rhythm games,
Yep.
if you're
Check
into
that shit
Weeby
out.
content, this is the channel for you, baby.
Right.
yes.
Let me tell you. All right, then we're on to Aaron's list.
Which mine is Elden Ring at the top. It's complicated.
Like
I can't
a
really sum it
Facebook
up right now.
relationship status. Elden Ring.
It's complicated.
No, Elden Ring it's complicated with Aaron Reynolds.
There you go. Yes. Yes.
Darling.
I think that's a good game.
What I like most about your list is it's outside of Pokemon and Elden Ring, it's super indie. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
a
yeah.
lot of indie
I
content.
do
on
love
there.
those indie games, and
That's where the cool stuff that I liked was, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good indie games out there.
There are. I got a bunch on my list for the coming year. Elden Ring, yeah, that's a game that will be remembered forever. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Alright,
yeah, Tunic.
what's-
Yep.
Yeah, Tunic was awesome last year. It wasn't for me, but it was a cool game.
Yeah.
And then we have my list. Only 3 MMOs this year, everyone. I'm sorry.
Only 3, sorry. Yeah.
Only 3.
God.
Lordy. Yeah, God of War Ragnarok was just something special, man. And had Cyberpunk 2077 actually came out this year like it should have instead of coming out early,
Right.
it probably would have been in the top 5.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was they did a great job with pretty much everything on here, and especially God of War.
Right.
So yeah, Shredder's Revenge also a great. So yeah, that game kind of came out of nowhere, and I loved it. I absolutely loved every minute of it. So yeah.
See.
I am glad you love Bayonetta 3 because it got mixed. Yeah, I understand why it did. I think the technical problems and the stuff with the side characters can probably disappointed a lot of people, and
Yes.
but those were both things that when I got into the sections as Bayonetta and got going with them, I was having a great time. And then it certainly helps that the second half of the game doesn't have nearly as bad of technical issues. So,
Right. Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, that was our stream. Talking about our games of the year for 2022. Thank y'all for raiding and stopping by. We love seeing you.
Yeah, if not doing it yet, you should give us a follow. It'd be appreciated.
And anyone over here who's not following Cart Bale, you better get on that. What are you doing?
Yeah, he's a homie. He's a real one.
Yeah.
Great games on these lists. I can't think of other games that can be included here besides Tunic. Heart you too, Cart Bale. Yeah, I think I was someone who played Tunic, and I wasn't super big on it personally. And these are kind of personal lists, so
I played it for a bit, and yeah, it just wasn't my kind of game. Unfortunately, it looked cool. It looks like a cool game.
Yeah.
A chance to give it a shot, but I wish I had it. Made it to my list of games that I wish I had tried.
I got 2 of those on mine because I track my whole year, and that's Sifu and 13 Sentinels.
Right.
13 Sentinels is so good. I got, what do I have? I have Tunic, Midnight Suns, Tactics Over Reborn.
Yeah.
I think I had that AI Somnium Files game.
I can tell you the worst game I played this year. Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
Followed by Naraka Blade Point.
Okay, fair enough. Xenoblade 3 did not get around to, but I heard really good things about it.
Yeah, I didn't particularly care for the first one's combat, so I kind of ended up skipping it. One day Blizzard will make awesome... well, Dragonflight was great, or it is great so far at least.
Dragonflight's on this list, and we got Diablo 4 coming.
Hopefully Diablo 4 is good. I'm going to buy it, but I'm very, very, very tentative about it. Like it is very much a game that I'm just like, we'll see.
Yeah.
I
think that's a show, though.
I think that. Yeah. So next week we'll be talking about our most anticipated games.
Yep.
We're gonna be talking about our fantasy critic and whatever the news is, guys.
Yep, absolutely. So, Destiny 2. There's a game.
It's a great game, but I think he's referring to Diablo 2.
Diablo 2. Oh well. Yep.
Either one's a good game.
Both good.
Yep. All right.
Oh, Signalis. I've heard of.
Yep. Signalis.
Yeah.
I've heard great things about it.
Ethan in the Discord was like really hyped up about that game.
Yeah, I remember hearing him talk about that. I know that the indie games I'm excited for currently that I haven't gotten around to are River City Girls 2.
Mm-hmm.
Severed Steel, Neon White, and then as ones that are coming out, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and Sea of Stars. And then this is one my girlfriend kind of pointed me towards, which was Escape Simulator, which it's basically you just do escape rooms, but in a video game.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh. Yes, I played a little bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Oh, and I'm also playing an indie game right now called The Night Witch, which if you're into twin stick shooters and deck building games, this is probably for you.
Wow. All right.
Let's see.
What a combination.
Pentiment. Yeah, that game was really good. As someone who likes reading, that seems like a game for me. I just didn't get to it.
Yeah. Regardless of everything that we've said on this podcast, there were a lot of games that came out this year. Some did not interest me personally, but like there were a lot of games. Like if you're bored and you're looking for a video game, they're out there.
There's one for you.
Yes,
now is the time.
Yeah,
like my girlfriend and I right now are going through new Tales from the Borderlands. I'm chipping away at Cyberpunk. I got Crisis Core Reunion for Christmas.
Yep.
So there's stuff to play.
Yep.
All right, have a good one, Cart. So
thanks for coming.
We'll be back next week at 10:30 a.m. ish Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
Feel free to join the Discord. That's where we update y'all on what we're doing.
Yes. Speaking of, I went to work on the link. Did it actually work this time? Still broken. Cool.
It's a link on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/supergamecraft.
Scroll down a little bit. You can see the Discord button down there.
Hold on. There we go. Join that.
There you go. Sure, that works. All right. Thank you guys. We're looking forward to another year. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Later, guys. Love you. Bye.